Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
How the hell is everybody out there? It's your boys once again here for another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, episode 352, and I'm just now getting over the weekend. It is the aftermath show of WrestleMania weekend. It all went down this weekend in Las Vegas. Back-to-back years. Are you okay? Are you checking the brows and whatnot?
Yeah, got a little good. Look good, feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this weekend was it, bro. I was down at the Casa of Deception down there. We were watching night one. We also got together here at the house to witness. I just dropped this remote control. Night two and the festivities. Now, right off the bat, folks, we are going to hit the button that is going to go with the whole graphic of what we're going to talk about, but you kind of already know what it is. The focus of this episode in totality,
open, middle, and close,
shall be everything that went down for WrestleMania. And there's much to discuss, much to dissect. As a matter of fact, let's not keep anybody waiting. What are we going to talk about?
Hey, what's going to be on the show today?
We have some talking points that we have to get to. A lot of things went down this weekend. Some people happy, some people not so happy. Let's address the points. And also we're going to break down night one, night two, not just a breakdown of what took place. We'll kind of skim through most of that. Everyone here, if you're watching my show, you probably already saw everything that went down. But before WrestleMania happened, when we had our live convo, me, Dave, Joe, and Lex G got together and we put our levels of excitement together, a rating system from 0 to 10, how amped we were for each particular match. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to give you new ratings. We're going to give you new scores, and this is going to be our reaction score. We were excited at this number. We saw the match. Here's our reaction number to the match. Is basically how this is going to go down. So if I was at a 7 at level of excitement and then I watched the match and now I'm at a 4, that means it deflated me just a bit. But if I was like at a 3 and now I'm at like an 8, overperformed.
Yeah,
we up, baby. We up. You up. We eating crow tonight, baby. We eating crow tonight. One match, I guarantee you, will make me eat crow tonight because it was a little better than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of into it. I was kind of they ate. So as the kids would say, the match slapped, right? It was a dope match. So let's not kill too much time. What we're going to talk about is, again, the wrestling talking points, some of the discussions that took place. We're also going to break down night one, and we're going to break down night two. Let's talk about it.
Dave, it's time to start the show. Let's begin with segment 1.
What we're going to do right now, and I swear to God I made it. Here it is. Boom! We're going to start off with a little WrestleMania talking points. And just really quickly, some of the things that came up. I figure we talk about it. I'll talk about them here at the beginning because I do feel like these talking points will affect how we felt about some of these matches before night 1 and night 2. So before we get into the actual matches, just really quickly, let's talk about some of the wrestling talking points, some of the conversational pieces, so to speak, that came out all over the internet, all over the world about this event. And the one that I hear the most, the number one hashtag, has to go to the commercials and the ads. Everyone seems to be in a tizzy. I saw one meme, and maybe this is true. I don't know. I saw both events, and I still don't know that Hulk Hogan was the number one pushed performer on the actual show. Apparently, they played this commercial 1,000 times. The documentary is coming, boys. Documentary is coming, boys. Documentary is coming, boys. Somebody had made the statement that after years of growing up watching WrestleMania and being a Hulkamaniac, he felt he saw more of Hogan at 42 than he did in any other WrestleMania ever in the past. That there were a lot of commercials and a lot of ads, and I'll pass it to you in a second, but I would like to open up this conversation about the ads by saying I didn't even fucking notice. It didn't even factor into my viewing. I have been trained through the years of not just wrestling, but as an 80s baby, I have been trained to tune out ads my whole life. If I'm watching the TV show, I'm watching the TV show. As soon as the ad starts, my brain has a timer. I go off. I do something else. As soon as I hear that my program is coming back on, I sit down and watch my program. I watch wrestling the same exact way. I watch the matches or the segments or whatever they're doing. It goes to commercial. I disappear. I hear that it's coming back. I come back. I don't even know what the fucking commercials are. But apparently I'm surrounded in a world by people who watched every millisecond of this 3.5 to 4 hour programming, and they are in a tizzy. Far too many commercials, far too many ads. Did the commercials and ads interrupt your viewing of WrestleMania?
So here's the problem.
Okay.
My experience was a little different.
Okay.
Because I was a little ripped. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
But I was pretty drunk by the time it started. So I didn't really realize the commercials too much. I heard people saying that there was a lot of advertisements and commercials, but listen, I sat down, I had a beer, I went to commercial, I would assume. Then I got up and got another one or got food. So I was not paying attention to them at all. Not to say that they weren't a lot. I just personally didn't notice them.
Now we know why you got drunk. Because your brain said every time they go to break, get up and grab a beer. And they had so many breaks, you had so many beers.
I got fucked up. Yeah, I was fucked up. Fucked up. No, it wasn't really that bad. I don't know, dude. Unless it's like shots, I don't get that fucked up. No, I was fine. I was fine. I was drunk, but I wasn't like, I don't know. Even my wife was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like yeah, she's like, "You drink a lot of beers, dude." I had 2 of these 25s, and I believe I had 10 Coronas throughout that day.
God. Throughout the progressive evening, right?
Well, dude, they were chained. They were back to back. It got to the point where I didn't even realize I finished. I went to go get a drink and it was empty. So I went and fucking grabbed it.
He said,
dude,
what's this?
We were perfect. So for people like me who are absolutely destroyed, the pacing was amazing. But then again, we've already talked. People don't drink anymore.
Yeah,
people don't drink anymore. So their pacing is a little off. That's all it is. If my pacing, I was good.
For everybody who doesn't drink anymore, if you want to avoid ads and you want to avoid commercials, use your time wiser. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, but I could imagine if you're sitting there dolo, kind of just watching it, trying to enjoy some wrestling, that you probably don't like a lot. But I really didn't notice it until you pointed it out, or until everyone else pointed out. I'm like, oh, you know what? There was quite a bit of commercials, but I don't know.
In
I think
retrospect, yeah.
I'm used to it now. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm
We
saying.
went,
Like,
but we went from a world with no commercial. Well, we went from a world full of commercials to a brief moment of no commercials.
Yeah.
Back to a phase of more commercials.
And I feel like the people who are complaining are the ones who were born in that small window where we didn't have it, where they grew and they assimilated. Because now we live in a world where the commercials are optional, right? So when we grew up as kids and we were watching television, it was commercial. Unless you had HBO or like a cable network channel, you didn't really get commercial interruption breaks. But for the most part, everything had commercial ads. Everything had.
Remember pay-per-views back in the day? One of the cool selling points of it was no ads. You're buying the pay-per-view and you're watching the whole thing like a movie. You're not getting chopped up now, and that's what YouTube, the internet, when it first started to happen, shit like that, that's kind of what it was. Like, you didn't have ads. Every once in a while on a web page, you'd have the little banners on the side, but whatever, dude, right? You can scroll right past that. Now, listen, you can get the subscription for free, but you about to catch all these ads, boy, to the face.
Yep. Even if it's so funny. I heard people who were streaming who were using like not nefarious means to watch the event and still complained about the commercials. I'm like, bro.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It's like, come on, bro. You're not. I got a subscription. I can complain. You can't complain, bro. Like, you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you're not gonna pay.
They paid for the internet.
Hopefully. If they're not getting their neighbor's Wi-Fi.
That's true.
So one of the talking points, obviously, commercials. People were very upset that there were so many ads, so many commercials. As Lex told me earlier, as he was talking to me about tonight's show, he called it commercial mania. Everybody was talking about the commercial part. Another aspect, and I feel like this is more 50-50. I felt like a lot of people were complaining about the commercials. The reaction to this is more 50-50, but the length of matches was a big concern for a lot of people. We pointed that
out while we were watching it. We were like, holy fuck, these things are moving.
Yeah, you and Steph, I didn't even notice the speed. You and Steph were clocking it because I was just like, I don't even feel it. Like, I don't understand
I felt it the second Jey Uso came out, when the Usos came out.
What? Because you felt like that entrance was rushed.
They came straight out. The moment one of the longest entrances in the business right now walks straight to the ring, I knew we were on the clock, buddy. We were on the clock. No run it back. None of that shit. Get in the ring. Let's get started.
So just really quickly, like for instance, as an example, night one, that 6-man tag, 7 minutes, 8 seconds. The unsanctioned match, 14 minutes. The fatal 4-way was only 8 minutes. The fatal 4-way, that's 4 teams trying to figure out their shit for 8 minutes. Becky and AJ, 8 minutes. Gunther and Rollins, 17 minutes, which is, I think on the live show, we were like, oh, that's an easy 30, right? Or we'll take 25 or something like that. They're like, these guys are just going to go. 17 minutes. And then we have Liv Morgan, the one that everyone's talking about. This is the killer here. Liv and Steph, 7 minutes. And then Cody and Randy, 22 minutes. It's a main event match. It'll get more time. Oba, Femi, and Brock, just about 5 minutes, which we didn't know it would be short. The ladder match, 15 minutes. Trick and Sammy only got 7 minutes. Balor and Dominic, 10 minutes. Rhea and Jade, 10 minutes. And Roman and Punk with a cool, crisp 33, my guy. They gonna take their time. You know what I'm saying? They gonna take their time.
You ain't rushing Roman.
Yeah, or Punk for that matter. Those two egos are not gonna let that happen. So what are your thoughts on that? Two, not enough wrestling. Maybe some of these matches could have had more. Is it right on the money? Like, where do you land on that?
If I'm being completely honest with you, relooking at some of the times here, I would adjust a few minutes here and there for a match or two. But if we had to shave time, Maybe it was for the ads. Who knows? But if we did have to shave time, whoever booked the timing, I think I will give them about an 8 or 9 out of 10 when it comes to like which matches should have dragged on, which matches needed to end a little bit earlier if we're trying to save time. The only one I probably would have put a little bit more time on was maybe like the Stephanie match, maybe pull a little bit from Jacob, Fatu and McIntyre.
So
a little bit, not too much though.
Let me add
good.
a speck of new information to the Liv Stephanie match, because obviously people were highly anticipated match amongst a lot of people. They were expecting something more for the build that it had, and 7 minutes for a lot of people just didn't seem enough. So there has been some people discussing the ideology that the WWE didn't actually want this match to go very long because both of them seemingly were still feeling injuries and effects for that build. There was a lot of bumps and bruises between the two of them. They didn't want them to go too overboard. That's what I heard Monday going into Raw. But then Liv had a match with the debuting Sol Roca on Monday that lasted either equal to or maybe even longer than the night before. So scratch that. That couldn't be it. So there goes that. So I have no idea, no reason. If it was my call, I probably would have given that one a little bit. I wasn't into it, but I think that one deserved a little more.
I would have minus like 3 minutes off of Drew and Jacob and would have just gave 3 more minutes to Steph and Liv. Other than that, I think we're solid.
Yeah.
That's me nitpicking. Honestly, I don't care where it landed. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I actually liked the idea that some of these matches were in and out. Like, we don't need to sit here and drag ass all day. You know, if you guys want to see 20, 30-minute matches for every match for the next 14 matches, you got to go across the street for that.
Yeah, that women's tag team match, I think, went 2 minutes too long, if you're asking me.
And they went, what was it, 8 minutes? They went about 8 or 9 minutes.
8 minutes. Yeah.
Woo! I'm hoping that's including entrances, but yeah. So that was another one of the talking points that people came up with. Oh, the matches didn't last long enough. Look, listen, folks. I don't know how many times the WWE needs to tell you to your fucking face. They're an entertainment company. The wrestling is almost accidental. You know, it just kind of gets in the way of, you know, they'd rather do promos and angles and commercials, obviously promotional shit. The matches, they're not really worried about the match.
If you want my honest truth, I think each match
King.
could have got a little bit more. Each match could have got a little bit more time if they took 2 matches out of each card. No, I'm sorry. Take 2 matches out of the first night and maybe a match out the second one.
You know, it's funny.
I like the pacing of the lower match live events. I do. I like the 4 matches. Give the crowd who bought tickets some recordings, dark matches when they're there. But when you're coming on TV, I like the 4, and they even added a segment or 2 in here as well. Let's not forget that. There was a Danhausen segment in there.
Yeah.
There was a few talking points in between the matches that could have been gone as well, or keep them, but get rid of a match or 2. I could have done without a match or 2 on each night to just kind of make it a little bit more, each match feel just a little bit more important.
Right. And to your point, I'm going to look this up right now, actually, because this might be a solid thing that you just said. The last couple of pay-per-views, right? Actually, let's not even do we don't even need to do pay-per-views. You could do the last Saturday night's main event. And that show had a runtime, if I could find it here. It doesn't have the runtime, but that match that show only had 3 matches on it. 13 minutes, 21 minutes, and 17 minutes. The Rumble's different because it's the Rumble, and the Chamber is different because it's the Rumble. But they've been running this 4-match, 5-match, 6-match card format for a while, and they haven't changed a lot of time. There's still 3 hours, 3.5 hours with 4, 5, 6 matches, and those matches tend to go 10, 12, 14 minutes. And so for WrestleMania, when they did WrestleMania, I'll pull it back here. It looks, to your point, like this kind of shows evidence to me that they kind of have an allotted time in their head for how much wrestling they want. Because there's no, if you had 5 matches in this amount of time, and then you added 2 more matches, but still stayed within this amount of time, it appears to me that this is the amount of time that you want wrestling for. It's almost like they said to themselves, no, we're getting the ads in, and we're getting the commercials in, and we're getting the segments in. So if we want to add more matches, if we want to add more people to the card, y'all gonna have to squeeze that shit the fuck in. Y'all gonna have to compress that shit because we already have a format. That's what it's starting to feel like. Because now seeing this, I want to go back to the 5 now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like it's basically a pizza pie, dude. You get a pizza pie, you got the same amount of pizza. I don't know if you've ever gotten those places, or I think it's by request, that like does mad little slices to try to make it so like more people. It don't matter. It could be the best pizza in the world, bro. You give me a pizza slice no bigger than this, that shit is ass. It's just not good. I've had one. Work jobs usually do it. You kind of like thin out the pizza a little bit more and stretch it. That shit is whack. So essentially the same idea, man. They know how much wrestling they have. Obviously, they know how much promotion time they need. They know what they need for commercials. They got this shit down. So if we're going to put 7 matches on night 1, those slices are going to be a lot smaller. And it doesn't matter what flippity flips and shit you do. It's just not going to feel good. It's going to feel rushed. It doesn't matter.
Flippity flips.
Doesn't matter.
So there's a talking point that I forgot to mention to you before we went on the air. It just popped into my head now, because the other talking point is, obviously, as with every wrestling show, not everybody was excited for the winners. There were some winners where people were like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Or, oh, why would you do that? Or, oh, I'm so sick of seeing that, right? Well, it just so happens how timing works itself out. Mark Shapiro, who is the president of TKO, was doing an interview recently where he was stating that TKO is actually the entity in charge of the creative. Triple H is there overseeing things, but essentially what TKO wants, TKO gets. There is no discussion. It's just, hey, Hunter, we're doing this now. And Triple H has to kind of make that work. So for everybody who was saying, well, Pat McAfee doesn't make sense, you're absolutely right. It doesn't make sense. But now we know why it was done and why some of the winners that were chosen, because it's not entirely all of the booking committee, the people who are making matches and getting the talent together, who are making the end result decisions. So the last 2 years, a lot of criticism towards The Rock. People thought, well, The Rock's coming in and it's messing up all of WrestleMania's plans and da-da-da-da-da. No Rock this year, and yet still someone with their fingers in the pot. And now we have a face to put to the issue, and that's Mr. Shapiro and the folks over at TKO. For the consciousness of the people who are watching WWE moving forward, this is what's happening. This is what it's going to be moving forward. So if you're one of the individuals that did not like this show, and it's 100% okay for you to have not liked this show, don't let me or anybody else tell you any different. You didn't like it, you didn't like it. But at the very least, maybe it's time to start thinking about whether or not you're going to commit to WWE moving forward, because this is what it is. Mark Shapiro went out there and told everybody, we're in charge of this programming and we're in charge of this company. He's there to make it make sense, but he's there to do what we want him to do. He is relaying the messages. He is the liaison between the top brass and the grunts and workers. And that's his fucking job. So if you're sitting at home saying to yourself, oh my God, why would Triple H do this? Why would Triple H do that? I'm not completely absolving him. I don't know specifically which decisions he made.
Well, he is driving the bus, so he's gonna get. If I tell you, for instance, use the commercials for an example. You got a budget of this much wrestling and this much advertising.
Make it work.
Go. go,
Yeah.
right? So I do agree with you where it's like, damn, Triple H could have given us more wrestling if it were up to him, but
Maybe
he
it would have
still
been, yeah.
was allowed to give us what he gave us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we can't
Mhm.
completely. I know you said you're not. I'm just saying, just to piggyback what you said, we cannot take it off of him just because of it, because it is. He gave you 3 colors to paint with, but you are still the artist, and you still have to give me something. So
yes, that's why I say I'm not absolving him completely of everything that went down. I just think that it needs to be said that it's clear that he's not the only one involved with the process. That
he's got
there are
restrictions.
other. It appears that he's got some handcuffs on him when he's doing some of the stuff that he's doing. So, last talking point before we get into the nights, we got to talk about the cell phone situation. CM Punk, Bailey, AJ Lee, they were in a hotel lobby. I heard stories stemming from that situation from Drew McIntyre, from a number of WWE superstars and fans that were all, because Las Vegas, as you know, is just one big ass strip, right? So everyone's on top of each other. Everyone's looking and seeing each other all the time. And there were a lot of people, both fan and people who work for the company, who had complaints about security in Las Vegas. The people were in places they weren't supposed to be. There were people harassing other people. It was a whole deal. If you haven't seen the situation, there was a fan who happened to be at a hotel lobby where CM Punk, AJ Lee were staying. Bailey and AJ Lee were in the lobby having a discussion together when all of a sudden this fan came up and just basically put a phone like right there in their fucking face. It tried to get fucking footage of him. They were shooing him away. He wouldn't respond. Eventually, Punk got pissed as he saw it happening. He walks over to the guy. He smacks the phone out of his hand and starts yelling at him. They're going back and forth. It's a whole ordeal. Finally, some security measures come up and they walk away. There's no actual physical altercation with the exception of the slap of the phone. This dickhead, the fan, then takes the cell phone, sells the footage to TMZ, and actually makes the statement out loud. Hey, man, I'm not going to sue. I don't want to put him in jail. I just want an apology and a handshake.
Well, hold on. He got some bread, though. How much do you think he sold it to TMZ for?
Which is a whole nother issue. We're not going to get into it now, but I've heard a lot of people doing that now, where they get a little bit of footage and immediately run to TMZ. It's like cash for ass over here. They're just giving this shit away to these people.
There's no way you got a bag for that. Like,
no, come on. For cell phone footage like that, I don't know what the hell he got, but it wasn't enough to hoover himself on the goddamn internet about it. That's for goddamn sure. This motherfucker has the balls to go on. I'm not going to put him in jail. I'm not going to put who in jail? Put who in jail, my guy? You're not putting nobody in fucking jail. Come on, dude. I'm not trying to get him fired. You're going to fire CM Punk because of you? Bro, relax yourself. Get the fuck out of here. And you know what's funny? We can't sit here and say wrestling fans suck. A lot of wrestling fans, like,
people suck. We can walk right past that. People suck.
A lot of wrestling fans were like, this guy's a piece of shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, he went in there.
Yes.
He went in there looking for a quick buck. For sure. For sure.
Or he just saw an opportunity and went for it.
No, but by now, after all these years, if you're a wrestling fan, you know that Punk has a hair trigger. If he did that, he's probably pissed he didn't get decked. He's probably pissed he didn't get punched.
Doesn't Bailey have previous situations with weird shit like that?
They all do, but yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Bailey,
One I can remember, Bailey has a
Rhea Ripley had some situations.
He's with my wife.
Yeah.
And 3, I'm looking for a reason. So
yeah, he's always looking
all for those together. He's from Chicago. He wants to use his hands. He has no problem with that at all.
He's had conversations with higher ups in WWE about the temper in the past because he's quick. He doesn't listen. He's 0 to 100. 0 to 100. If you're gonna wait for him,
don't record my wife, dude. If I'm him. Don't record my wife, dude. I made the post on Facebook. I said, listen, if my wife and I and a friend are sharing an intimate moment at a hotel, you come up to us at a cell phone and put it in my face, I'm slapping the phone and I'm slapping you. Punk's a better man than me. The phone, because I would have tried to smack him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, smart on Punk.
Yeah.
You're gonna have less issues hitting a phone than you are hitting the fan. So he did a good
far
job.
less issues.
He
Yeah.
is not
And
bitched
apparently,
for that, but still.
Apparently he didn't break the phone because the phone was in working order. In order for him to give the footage to TMZ, the phone had to
He
work.
had it protected. It was cased up. He knew what he was doing.
Cased up. He got that outer box on there, baby. He got that outer box on there.
Screen protector. You know what I'm saying?
That phone was Punk proof. But it was a small altercation, but it leads to a bigger conversation of you have to. I get upset when I hear they're celebrities. They got to get over that. No, you need to be less of a dickhead. You need to be less of a bitch in your life. That's what that is. I have no issue with fans. I've done shows where people get a little, especially if they've been drinking. Shit is said, shit is done. We all understand. It's part of the game. We get that. But there's lines and there's levels to this, and that is extreme. And we said it here on this show when we had the topic of conversation. We just recently brought up all of these situations that the women in the WWE have been going through with stalkers, and the Liv Morgan getting her arm yanked during her entrance, and Rhea Ripley being mobbed, getting into a taxi cab. Y'all have got to do something about these women in WWE, man. They're fucking targets for these weirdos, bro. These goofies that are just walking around doing stupid shit. You've got to absolutely positively keep your fucking head on a goddamn swivel, man. So I think we've laid out some of these points. We talked about the ads. We talked about the winners and losers. We talked about a lot of stuff that influenced how this event was perceived. But I think it's about that time, my guy, that we sit here. I'm trying to find where it was. There it is. Boom. I was trying to buy time, but I lost complete track. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this, okay? Let's talk about night one.
Let's keep this show going. It's time for segment 2.
So, for our discussion here as it relates to the aftermath of what went down for WrestleMania, as I said at the beginning of the episode, I'll say it here for the clip. In the live conversation before WrestleMania weekend, myself, Deceived Dave, Joe Dove, Lex G got together for the live convo, and we put together our ratings 0 to 10, our level of excitement for some of the upcoming matches for WrestleMania weekend. We had a fun time doing it. It's on the YouTube channel now. Check it out when you get a chance. But tonight will not be levels of excitement. It will be the level of reactions. We have judgment, and we're going to see how the match measured up to our level of excitement. Was it below and disappointing, or did it raise our rating because it is super duper okie dokie awesome? We're going to have that conversation here and now. So we're going to begin with night one. I have my chart in front of me here. It's a little wordy, so I'm not going to share it on the screen, but I'll let you guys know what it says. And we're going to start off with the opening match of night one, which is a 6-man tag team match. The Vision, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, teaming up with I Show Speed against the former tag team champions, Jimmy and Jey Uso and L.A. Knight. Yeah, they had the opening match, as previously mentioned, and I'm going to do this all night just to stick it in people's crawl. 7 minutes all together, bell to bell. Dave, what'd you feel about this opening match? Since you were this was peak obliteration right here. You were on the ride when this shit started. 7 minutes. Would you have increased the time for this one, or is this one
No.
money?
No. They did what they were supposed to do. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Are we going over points right away? Where was I for this one, and where were you?
Okay, so right here, I got it in front of me. So our level of excitement across the board.
I think for this.
Across the board. AJ, me, I was at a 7 level of excitement. Dave, you were at 8.
8. Okay.
Joe was also at 8, and Lex was a 9. So I was the lowest, but not by much. We all had high hopes for the creativity of this matchup and what they were going to perform. Now, before you give your reaction. Lex's level of excitement was at a 9, but after seeing the match, he's at a 7. Joe was at an 8, and then it became a 6. So went down a little bit. I, on the other hand, I was at a 7,
Okay.
and I'm actually going to go up to just about an 8
Okay.
because I found my enjoyment in this match through the one individual that you hyped the most. I Show Speed was by far one of the most entertaining parts of this entire match to me. He is, forget the athleticism for a minute, just the facials, just the willingness to tell. He actually was able to tell a story for me that was great. I'm trying to be a wrestler deal, and here's the suplex, and I'm doing moves, and I'm jacked in the gills. I'm gonna do all this cool stuff, and the viral moment of the night, in my opinion, the splash from the top rope all the way to the table. My man did a double birdie. He went. He did a double birdie in this splash. He did a froggy frog splash all the way down to the table. You made a point actually while we were watching it. And maybe we could expand on this, that you thought that it kind of looked like they were setting up Logan and Speed one-on-one at some point here.
Going into Monday, they kind of leaned into it a little bit too. So, yeah, we was talking shit. I mean, I hope they do, because even if it's just for one match, a little bit, maybe it interferes on something coming up, maybe it costs them the match for talking shit, but don't do my man I Show Speed dirty with Logan going on there talking about pretty much he beat his ass and sent him home. Because I don't like that. That's mad disrespectful. Don't do that. So, but yeah, they definitely look like they look like they kind of switched him to the other side a little bit. They celebrated him and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks like they were kind of setting up maybe another return or something like that. I'm sure, like I said, the number. Listen, you can tell when business is making sense, and to be honest with you, that's how I felt about Logan. He came in strong.
Yeah.
He started getting deals. He was the first logo on the mat when they started that shit.
Yep.
Obviously, business was happening, and they were like, "Oh shit, these kids are for real." I feel like that may have happened going into this with Speed, and they're willing to kind of like continue his appearance as time goes on with this, and maybe do a little feud, let him train a little bit more, give him the one-on-one match with Logan. That'd be sick. So yeah, I definitely see that they could be doing that, and I hope they are doing it, to be honest with you.
After hearing what I heard about TKO's involvement, it kind of muddies things, because you look at Logan Paul, you look at I Show Speed, and you go to yourself, man, Triple H really sees something in these guys. And now I have to ask the question, is it Triple H that sees something in this? Or because of I Show Speed's popularity, Logan Paul's ability to promote it, and just what a wild card that name, the Paul name, really is that Triple H, or is that TKO in their influence now?
I think too, but I want to be careful with that, because I know when things start to get ass or even good, I think Triple H is fucked no matter what. If things are going good, it wasn't his call. If things are going bad, it was either his call or he was being a bitch and he was told what to do, but it's still his fault, right? We're not going to give him grace and be like, oh, maybe so. No, they were like, this is Triple H doing this. So I think two things can be true in a manner. I'll use this as an example. Two things can exist, because on the same program, we had I Show Speed, who did well, and we also had Jelly Roll. So two things can exist at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting Jelly Roll for his athleticism. Understand? Yeah. I'm sure he brings some type of eyeballs that they enjoy the diversity. So we're going to run it back with Jelly Roll, even if it's just a little bit. You know what I mean? So, again, I want to be careful with that going forward. I'm not saying just mean like if the people are listening, just grain of salt. Like, don't just assume things all the time, because both can exist at the same time. I'm sure there are plenty of people who they would be considering that Triple H is like, we can't make this make sense. Like, they got to be able to do something.
Yeah.
And I think the Travis Scott may kind of prove my point.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great example.
again, to me, the Travis Scott could be TKO's pulling the trigger on this. He's a big star. He goes in there, he's hurting people, and Triple H is like, dude, like, please, I get it. Like, we're gonna hurt my wrestlers. Like, we don't need that. It's fine. Like, we like him. He's a fan. We understand. He had no swagger out there. He did not look good out there at all. He was hurting people. He was in the wrong spot. So again, two things can exist at the same time. So let's try to give a little bit of grace to Hunter. I wouldn't say he can't. He has no pull. I wouldn't say he has no pull. So, but anyway, to me though, so to finish this part up, because I know you're probably getting close, is I'm gonna stick with my 8. I was kind of hesitant to go down to a 7, but not in a negative way. But I'm gonna stay with the 8. With here, I think one of my favorite things that they did, and you pointed it out when he was here, they all protected the fuck out of him. He was in there the right amount of time with the right amount of support. He was not left hang to dry. They had a lot of swaps, a lot of positioning, a lot of pulling him, a lot of situations where they were moving him in certain directions as the play, like it's supposed to happen, but it helps him kind of be in the right place at the right time. He was definitely had bumpers down the lane, and they protected him all the way down to the end of the show, and I think they did that absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, it looked like they were taking care of him. And, most, back in the day, you get a celebrity in the ring, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. You might not walk out of there, So the fact that they protect the business kind of a situation. Yeah, absolutely right. Any thoughts on the fact that it was the baby faces that won here at the beginning here? A lot of people complain, well, this is an opportunity for the Vision, but I don't know. In this particular, we were cutting up footage about LA Knight and his, for whatever reason, his inability to just kind of get over that hump. I felt like this was a decent win for LA Knight here. This was a big deal for him.
It's a little bit of momentum. I don't have faith to build on it, but I don't understand why the heels needed the win. I don't understand why this is a topic of conversation whether heel or face won here. As long as you went in the right direction, which to me, leading into a Logan I Show Speed thing is an option, and if they decide to go down that way, cool. But I didn't think one or the other side necessarily needed to win a face heel type of deal, as long as whatever they're going to get coming out of it, they can pursue. So I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine as well. That was the 6-man tag right there. Now, let's bring ourselves into the world of no rules. We're bringing ourselves to the unsanctioned match between Jake Batu and Drew McIntyre. Now, right off rip, my level of excitement was a 3. I had a low bar for this one. Your level of excitement, also a 3. Joe's level of excitement was a 5. And Lex's level of excitement was a 7. Now, Lex was a 7. Now that he has seen the match, he is a 3.
Ooh.
He did not like that match, I guess.
That's interesting. Okay, fair enough.
Joe was a 5, and he moved up slightly to a 6.
Okay.
Now, Dave, you were a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand on the unsanctioned?
I'm gonna have to match Joe's energy, man. I think I'm up. I don't know if I'm all the way at it. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6 with Joe. I'm gonna match Joe at a 6, and the main reason why, to me, is because honestly, for exactly what your reason for not being excited by this match, and that we knew exactly what we were getting. We knew exactly what we were getting. Your point was Drew McIntyre wrestles Drew McIntyre matches, and they're not bad, but they're also not extravagant, and that you need that person to make it extravagant. If I remember exactly, that's what you said about McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what made it good. And the reason why is because I see Jacob Fatu as an up-and-coming star. So to me, that's a good match at a high level for Jacob Fatu. I don't want you to go nuts. I'm going to show you pacing. I'm the pace guy. Follow me. We're going to have a bang match. It's just going to be good. It's going to be a little, it's just going to be salt and pepper. That's it. Just a little salt, just a little pepper. That's all it's going to be. Fucking clean. And it was clean. There wasn't a lot of mess ups. They were all in the right place at the right time. They beat each other's ass. Drew gave you what you came for with Drew, and Jacob got a lot of experience. He did his thing. He looks awesome because of the consistency, because of the reason why you thought this may not be that good of a match. I'm going to bump it up. I think it was a solid match.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. So, my level, I'm looking at the sheet now, and it's kind of funny because Lex was a 7. He dropped it to a 3. I'm a 3, but I'm bumping to a 7. I'm going up. We're inverted on that one because I was going to bring that up as part of my explanation, but you got to it first. But I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to use it anyway. I really, truly feel like sometimes Drew is in a situation where he kind of needs someone to rip it from him. You know, he needs a little tug back for Drew to really be effective. And you brought up a good point about the pacing of this match and the way that it was paced and the way that it was put together. I loved the way that this match was genuinely put together. More importantly, I love the finish. I love the fact that Jacob Fatu won this match. This makes back-to-back WrestleManias. Last year, he won the United States title, which is great, but I felt like this match was a bigger win for him. You know, no disrespect to LA Knight, but beating a Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania is no small feat. And the fact that he did it in an unsanctioned match doesn't take away from the win for me. I know that it was first of all, a man his size, he nailed everything. That moonsault, that moonsault bro. Through the table. That's not even, by the way, that's not a moonsault to a guy on the floor where he has all the time in the world to complete that moonsault. It's higher up. He's got a moonsault a whole hell of a lot faster. Yeah,
he got him on the table. He just went for it. He did no sliding up. Yeah.
So I actually, this was a really good match. This is one of those issues, like I said earlier, about eating crow. I'm eating crow on this one because I really did have a low level of expectation for this, but the boys showed up and they brought that main event energy to this one. I still don't like unsanctioned as a match. It still doesn't fucking make sense to me. This could have very well watch that match again. It was I forgot to do it at the beginning. 14 minutes. That match looked like it could have been no holds barred. It could have been a street fight. There's a million different things that could have been. It didn't need to be unsanctioned, especially since they didn't play into it. Be honest with you, I'm at a 7 because that was the only negative to this match that I thought. I think with the unsanctioned stipulation, in order to differentiate it from a no disqualification match, you got to play into it. You got to add something to the match to where
something
it has
dangerous, something dangerous. The company would want to wipe their hands off. You know what I mean?
Where you got to put the referee in a position where he's in a bad spot right now. Like he's got to make a call here, but it's unsanctioned. There's nothing I can do. My hands are tied. They did a lot of cool spots and they did a lot of dangerous shit. And they had a good match, but without that aspect, I can't go all the way with it. But I'm eating crow. It was way better match than I thought it was going to be, so I'm not going to throw any hate at all whatsoever. Speaking of hate, we're going to go to the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles. Now the match itself, 8 minutes, 33 seconds. It's the Fatal 4-Way, Irresistible Forces defending against the Ring Queens, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and the Bella Twins. Or so we thought. So I was in your living room. I think match 1 was already in the ring when I got a message. I wasn't looking for it.
It came to me.
Yeah. Let me close this. A bubble popped on my phone, a notification. And it was like breaking news. Paige resigns with WWE. And I was like, Paige resigns with WWE. And earlier in the night, they had showed Nikki Bella in a boot. She had an issue with her ankle or foot. So I said, "Oh man,
put two and two together real quick."
Instantly for me, because why sign? Because they have a history now. They've made this a part of the deal, where a lot of the people who are returning, they get to the building that they're going to return to, and they sign their deals there. So it happened with Punk. It happened with AJ. It was like one of those 11th hour deals. So when I found out that she signed that day, I said, "Oh, she's in Vegas. She's got her gear. She's doing something. There's no battle royal. Nikki's got a boot on. I'm not a doy. This is what's going to happen." And sure enough, here comes the Bellas and the whole deal. And damn, was it good to hear that song again. And if I'm an AEW fan, at what point do you start putting this together? I'm not blaming the fans in any way, but this is just kind of how the business works. People say things to get over. This is the wrestling business. Because I'm catching a pattern here. Everybody who was in WWE who gets upset, or in Paige's case, because she wasn't cleared medically, they wouldn't let her wrestle anymore. They get frustrated. They leave WWE. They get picked up by AEW. They start off great. Everything goes to shit because when you're a WWE superstar, you're used to things like structure and responsibility and accountability. And when you go to a company where the boss just looks at you and goes, "So what do you want to do?" And there's nothing really, like, there's nothing there. It's an empty vessel. It's just, here, do something with this. Mm-hmm. They lose themselves, and then they disappear for a while, and Tony continues to pay them for as long as they're away, and then the contract runs out, and then they go back to WWE, and they all give the same speech. I'm home. Because that was Paige's whole press conference at the end of it. I'm back home. I'm back home in WWE. I should have never left. God damn it.
The water tastes better. It's sparkling.
AEW was so terrible that Punk came back and just said, "All right, fuck it. Yes, sir. I belong here. Don't ever let me leave again, you fucking idiots. God damn it." This is one of those situations where, let me give you the levels of excitement for this one, okay? So I was at a 3, my level of excitement. I'm going to stay at 3, and that's including the factor that I was excited about Paige's return, okay? You were a 3. Joe was a 5, and Lex was a 7. Oh, excuse me, I'm reading the wrong numbers. I'm in the other box. I've never moved it down. Excuse me.
Never want to be in the other box. Dude.
For that's where divorce happens. My level of excitement was a 5 for the tag match because I was trying to. My reasoning was I just don't see Charlotte and Alexa allowing this match to go off the rails. They did nothing. Everyone just let it go off the rails. So
exactly what you thought they were not.
Exactly. Like the one thing I thought, the one team that I thought would never.
You had one job.
One job. But I'm sticking to the 3. I'm going down from 5 to 3. You were at a you were at a 0. That was yours. So you want to go lower or higher?
Like negative? No, we're gonna keep it at 0. There's really not much for me to say here. The buildup was ass. I didn't need a month of pieces of this match wrestling one-on-one or some of the tag teams doing things different. Like, I didn't need as much of this as I got. And then when we got here, only to put it on the Bellas with an asterisk.
I was going to say, with an asterisk, this is not actually on the Bellas. It's only on one Bella.
Fantastic for Paige. This is a good way to come back. She gets a belt put right back on her. You already know what type of time she's on.
Which is a callback.
Which is they're running a program. She's in it. She's right up there. She's going to do what she needs to do. I get to see her. I want to see her in an actual match. To be fair, I know this is what they tried to do with AJ Lee, and to be honest with you, although there were more people involved, less people involved with AJ Lee, the caliber of people in that match, it should have felt like this, but it didn't. I don't feel like AJ was protected, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. She was not protected that match. We already talked about it. There was so much involvement here. We didn't get to see too much of Paige, but also to her advantage, you told me she was in AEW. I didn't know that. So she's got some reps under her belt as well. So even if she had to go, she probably could. So I'm excited to see what all the hype is about Paige, because I know people love Paige. I've never seen her before. So this is going to be like an AJ Lee thing for me, where I'm kind of excited to see the person everyone's excited about. I have a little bit more confidence in this one just because she's been active.
Yeah.
But yes, as far as that goes, like Paige having this opportunity, which I think is pretty dope. She's well loved, so I want to see her win. This did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. I think it just made me more drunk because I wasn't worried about it. So I was just getting up before commercials to get more.
So apparently I'm not drunk enough.
Not even close to enough.
So Joe was at a 3, and he stayed exactly where he was. He's a 3 still. Lex was with me at a 5. He went lower. He's a 2.
Good. Smart
So
man.
the women's tag team matchup, 8 minutes, like we said before, 8 or 9 minutes if you round up. With the exception of Paige, not a lot going on there. The next matchup, actually, beautiful transition into what you were just talking about. The Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. The tail of the tape, so to speak. My level of expectation, we were all in the middle. 5-5-5, and Joe was a 4. We were all kind of just saying to ourselves, okay, we're gonna let them cook, see what they can come up with, see if they could come up with a little something. And where do you think they landed on this? How was this match in comparison to, say, like the Elimination Chamber match?
You said I was at a 5.
You were at a 5.
I think I'm gonna. I'm thinking 7, but I'm gonna stick with 6. I'm gonna stick with 6, and here's why. This is match 4. I'm about 8 beers in. So, all right. That could be the reason why I don't remember most of this match, but for what I do remember, I was impressed with, like, basically what I was expecting out of AJ Lee, I got. And Becky, I shouldn't be saying this, and at night 2, I kind of have to let it go. Something happened at night 2 that I have to let it go. All right, we're in a new era. You know what I mean? We got people are moving on to better things. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so,
yes,
whatever. But I've been a little pissed at Becky for quite some time, and not outside of the whole Bianca squash that I think still to this day was one of the most unnecessary things I've ever seen.
You still standing on that? Still standing on that?
Yeah. So I gotta let it go. I gotta take Becky for what she's doing. With that, she was standing out like a sore thumb for me, but I'm starting to kind of understand why. Fast forward up until this point, I think she's just gonna have trouble being who she is, because there really isn't a lot of people that can match her energy. But this match went well. I think it deserves one more point. I am a little bit more impressed with AJ Lee. Still not a fan. I don't like how she works. I don't like her mic work. She's good at talking. I just don't like the way it sounds personally. But I think the match was a huge improvement from her first debut. So yeah, it was good. They did a good job.
Lex's level of excitement was a 5. He brought it up to a 7. So he seemed to be right on page with you. Joe kept it in the middle. It was a 4. He only really moved it up to a 5. I was a 5. I'm gonna stay at 5.
Okay.
And
Okay.
AJ's return has me terrified for Paige's return. Because
I can understand that.
what AJ has shown me is that sometimes nostalgia does funny things to the brain. In her given era, without a doubt, one of the best, if not the best, of that particular era. You can say the same for Paige. I said it in your house, and then they said it on the broadcast not too long after I said it, which is usually what happens. I usually have the good point first, and then they repeat it at some point.
Yeah.
And I had said that if you want to pinpoint the largest amount of success for the women's evolution, you point to the 4 horsewomen. But if you want to point to where it started with AJ and Paige. Paige on the NXT level and AJ on the main roster, who was doing big business. We had said here on the show that what made AJ so different from the rest of the divas in that division, despite being the Divas champion, she was so much different because of how they used her. She was used all over the place. She's a former GM. She was a manager. She was all over the fucking show all the time because of her ability to speak. You said that you like the way that she speaks. You just don't like the promos, whatever. At that time, there was nobody in that division who could do anything like that. It was just her. Now, Paige might not have been the greatest promo, but what made Paige different was her in-ring. Her abilities in the ring, the moves that she came up with, her innovation, the change of speed and tempo, the quote unquote, the compliment that the old heads, the old generation used to give. She works like a guy. She doesn't move like a girl in the ring. She's smooth and transitions like a dude. I thought it was a hilarious stat that Paige debuted, became champion like a shit ton of times, disappeared off the face of the earth, went on a whole life fucking journey, went to a whole other company. This is all happening at years pace. She didn't just go to AEW for like a few months. She was there for like 2 years. She lived this whole life, returned to WWE at the age of 33, which means if she stays healthy, she's got years left under her belt.
She's so young.
She's got time. So I get nervous. I see AJ Lee's progression. I look at Paige's current situation. And I go, oh no. I hope that, like you said, AJ started to look better with more reps. But to be fair, she doesn't look it, but she's older than Paige. So that transition should have taken longer. Paige looked great in the 4-way. Rampage. She's hitting all the moves. She's making all the fucking decisions. She looks sharp. We'll see what happens when she's in the ring working a program one-on-one. Like you said, she had the AEW run, so she does have some reps under her belt. She's not coming in cold, but let's see. It's the AJ test all over again. Let's see if she could do it with these women, because these women are different, right? No disrespect to Emma and no disrespect to the women of that generation, of that time period, but there was a reason that the generation after Paige and Emma were the ones that took off. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. That weight class of it's like the 03 class, not the 03 class. It's like the 96 class of the NBA draft in NXT, when it had Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bailey, that it had Alexa, it had just a litany of people, and then a flow after that happened with Rhea and Bianca, and the current crop right now is dope in NXT of women. So Paige is going to have a plethora of opponents to go against should they put her in that position. So this match was not bad at all. I enjoyed it. I'm going to tell you this. Where are we at? At 8 minutes? A lot of people with the complaint, you know what? On the 8 minutes, because I I think, to be honest with you, I think one or two of these women would have ran out of gas if it got past the 8-minute mark, which would have made the match look a little bit more clunky, would have exposed them a little bit more. I think the 8 minutes protected them. They were able to go balls out and not have to worry about the conditioning. So that's good. I'll take it. So that's good for me. That's a good match. Let's go over to Bam. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Now, before we critique, let's get the numbers first, because let me tell you something. We were hyped for this one. Level of excitement was through the roof. I was a 9, you were a 9. Lex and Joe were both perfect 10s. This was the match where we sat here on this show and said, you can't fuck this up. You just can't fuck this up. If Seth's shoulder is good, this match is going to be fire. And folks, this match was fire. So this match was fire.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was on pins and needles for time. I was like, "Fuck, what's he gonna say?" No,
this was first of all,
motherfuckers went. Dude.
First of all, 17. Oh, if you round up 18, because it was 17:52, so about 18 minutes, and it flew by, folks. If you could have given me a few more minutes, I wouldn't have been mad at you. They fucking cooked. Gunther and Seth Rollins, boy, when I tell you that these two are the best fucking wrestlers on the goddamn planet Earth. We said on this show, both of these motherfuckers could take a nap for an hour and wake up straight from the nap and tie up and give you 20 easy. And I'm sure they didn't nap before the show, but these guys look good. Seth and Gunther fucking killed it. They fucking went nuts. Night one, this to me, for everybody who had because a lot of people liked night 2 more than they liked night 1. I'm on.
That's funny. That's funny because that was not the story going into it.
I know, and yet night 2 got all the praise. I'm on board. I think night 2 was better than night 1, but I don't. This match on night 1, don't sleep on the Gouda and don't sleep on this match right here. This shit was fucking bananas. So like I said, everybody here was a 9, 9, 10, 10. Lex was a 10. He went down to an 8.
Really?
He did. Joe went down to a 7, and they were both 10s. They were both 10s. You were a 9. You were a 9. Where were you at? Stand on that 9.
I stand on that 9.
I refuse.
I even kind of low key want to bring it. No, it's a 10. It's a 10 because the match alone tiptoes a 10. But then when you add that motherfucking Bomb Breaker running straight down the fucking ramp at full speed, I thought someone was gonna die. Whether it be Braun Breaker, you know how like you get into a motorcycle accident, it's kind of tough to get back on a motorcycle because you're just a little nervous.
A little PTSD.
That motherfucker jumped right back on the motorcycle because if I came off an injury like that and did a full sprint into a damn near half height front flip, let's be honest, that's what he did. He didn't jump vertically up in the air. He jumped horizontally and did a front flip. Okay. You'd have to talk me into it. This man went out there. It was a great last point. Sometimes, quite often actually, good matches can be ruined by bad moments and interference. Maybe it doesn't make sense to me. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
This one ended well. This one ended well because it's driving a story. It's driving a narrative. The interference was what they did it well, and the match was just a fucking banger. Yeah, this is a 10. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, it's a 10. 100%.
So I Joe, I know you're listening to the show because you listen to the show. You've told me you listen to the show. I don't know where the 7 came from. I'd love to hear from you, buddy.
Yeah.
But this is a 10.
Next time he's on, mark this, star this shit. Because the next time he's on the show, before we go live, he's got to explain that.
Regardless of what the subject matter is, you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to tell me what happened here. Let me see if he wrote anything in the. Nah, he just gave me his number for that one. But to me, this was a 10, and it's a 10 for two reasons. A, you brought up Braun Breaker, and you brought up a point that I was going to bring up, which is the PTSD of the injury. Right? There is something to be said. There is an element of pro wrestler in a guy when they get injured doing something, and the very first thing they want to do when they come back
You get the yips.
is the thing that they did when they got hurt. I have seen that before in the past. It's rare.
Oh,
I have
okay, I see what you're
I
saying,
have
I see what
had
you're
more guys come to me and say, "Hey, man, I just came off this injury with the blah blah blah. Let's stay away from that for now." That's
saying. Yeah, I don't want
common.
to do that spot, right? Yep.
That's common, and it's nothing wrong with it. If you're not 100% safe with it, don't fucking do it. But
Right.
I have had guys who got power bombed or whatever the move was, and something happened. When you're in the ring, shit happens. They get the injury, they're gone, and they get back in the locker room. They're souped up, ready to go. What do you want to do? Power bomb, nigga.
Last ride. I want a last ride. I want to go higher.
I want it from the top rope to the floor, my guy.
Exposure therapy, baby. I want you to hold me up there.
As a wrestler, when you see a fellow wrestler come back from injury and beat his motherfucking chest, I'm not just going to run down the Raw ramp. I'm running down 75 yards of stage, and I'm going to saw this man in half.
Speed.
There
Oh
is
my God.
You know, like this new thing the guys do now when they hear somebody rap and they hear something go,
Yeah, they got the.
When I saw him sprint and hit that spear, I said,
He got the stink face.
He's cooking.
He hit that spear. He hit that spear full momentum. Did the flip. Did the spin over and landed on the ring like this. And you were like bars.
Bars. The second reason why I love this match, to me, it's a perfect 10 because this is the pure definition of driving your car. You hit a pothole and it fucks your wheel up. And so you slow down, but you keep driving. And you make that wheel work for you, and you make it work for you, and you make it work for you, and you get home and you're able to fix it, and now you're back on the road again. You didn't let it stop your momentum. You kept moving forward. We did not know when we got to WrestleMania that we would be at Rollins Gunther. Somehow we got there behind the scenes, and you had to try to make it make sense on screen. I stood alone on an island when I said the reason they gave to me made sense. Because all I had to do was turn off my WWE brain and turn on my AEW brain. With the concept being, fuck a build-up. I just want to beat your ass at WrestleMania. Well, I want to beat your ass at WrestleMania. Okay, let's go. And then they get to WrestleMania, and they have a banger of a match. But by the end of the match, they found a way to connect the dots back to the road they were headed to before we got here.
Yep.
Braun was the busted tire, but they needed to get that car moving. You can't stay in place. You have to keep moving. So they found a way to keep it moving, and they got to the house, which was WrestleMania, and they fixed it. And now Braun and Rollins, I don't know if anybody saw Raw last night, they've continued that. We're back on the vision track.
Yep.
And we were able to do that. We were able to do that
because
while still protecting Gunther because he won the match.
If anything, you kind of bigged him up. He caught a W.
He caught a W at WrestleMania through heel means, more heat, right? It's not like he called Braun Breaker to be a part of that, but he'll take the win.
No, if anything, knowing him, the victory of that match didn't include, like the way he's going to talk about it, had nothing to do with Braun Breaker. Like Braun Breaker wasn't even there. Like I beat his ass.
Braun hit him, but he didn't pin him. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We had a one-on-one match, and I won clean. No fucking clue. Like that's the type of shit he usually be on, and it works perfectly for him. And if he ever gets tired of hearing it, guess what? Let's run it back. Because now there's a seed there where it's like, because Rollins can come back and say, "You won at WrestleMania, but you didn't beat me. Braun Breaker beat me." So if you really want to settle this, let's do it one more time at SummerSlam or whatever the fuck. And really settle it out. To me, perfection. This was perfection. And it's not the only match that I'm going to use that word for as we go along with this.
Listen,
Our last
you have to make these type of pivots. It's
stop.
very
Pivot!
rare. It's very rare
Pivot!
you get the opportunity to be able to do it this cleanly. So yeah,
I want to clip out every segment that Rollins, Breaker, and Gunther have been in since the injury to Braun all the way to the segment last night. And I want to clip it together, including the match, everything that they've done. And I want that to be a highlight of what it means to improvise on a high level. There's so many factors to this. You got to take your ego out of it for sure. You got to work together on how this is going to flow. You've got to put the kind of match together that's not going to disappoint the fans, but still gets us to where we need to be.
mm-hmm.
You got to make sure that everybody's health is in order, because the only person in that match that wasn't injured or coming off of an injury was Gunther. Seth is performing, but it was his first match back since the shoulder injury, and Braun just came back from a hernia. So everybody is on pins and needles right here. And they managed to cover all of it. And let me say here and now, what does it say about Braun Breaker's position in WWE when the minute he showed up, it felt right?
Yeah.
It felt like, oh, thank God he's back, because now we can go down this road.
That Vision is struggling.
Yeah. Without Braun, it was not to say anything bad about Austin Theory or Logan Paul, but they're
not supposed to be the front, right?
Right. They're not.
They're not.
There's no element of danger to Logan Paul and to Austin Theory. That doesn't mean they're bad wrestlers, but there's no aspect of badassery. There's no
They
danger.
don't have enough
There's
time
no
in the
chaos.
game right now.
No. Braun Breaker is a goddamn ball of intensity. They have something humongous with this guy. And I don't like the fact that he's getting this injured this early. It's not a good sign. But I love the bounce back. I love the mentality. I love that he kept the intensity. I love that he just, like I said, that spirit. I was
just about to say it's okay. Let's get him to work smarter. But this dude just ran full speed down the ramp, so I don't think he has.
In my mind, and it's a terrible comparison as far as in-ring ability, but he's like a Jeff Hardy to me, where it's just like I feel like sometimes the pain makes him fucking better. Like last night when he got hit.
Exactly what you mean.
When he got hit with the chair last night, it was supposed to be a chair shot to the back. Seth got him a little high. The edge of the chair busted the back of his head open.
That's where the cut came from. Okay. I must have looked away. So I'm like, why the fuck is he bleeding like this?
He sold to the outside. Then there was a whole thing in the ring, but while he was in the outside, he was trying to shake the shit off, because no one cares about the blood. It's just a matter of you got your bell rung, so now you're just trying to make it through.
We gotta finish the segment.
And he gets in there when he finishes everything, and then he uses it where it's just like, and he puts it on himself. He's built for this shit. He was born into this shit. He's amazing. Not to say anything bad about anybody else in this match. Like I said, flat out fucking 10. I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. And that takes us, boys and girls, to the next matchup, which is going to be the one that everybody talked about, the WWE Women's World Championship match. Stephanie Vacour. What did I just? It's Stephanie Vacker, right? Stephanie Vacker.
I'm listening to everyone say it. I feel like everyone in the business has taken a class on how to say. I think it's Vacour.
Vacour. Yes,
it's like Va or Vac,
because people have been
Q part is core, like almost like core, but core. I've been trying to make sure I'm saying it right too, and everyone says it exactly. I know that sounds stupid.
It's becoming a running joke,
but when someone's last name's like that, so difficult to say, and everyone is saying it correctly the same way. I know she gets asked constantly, how do I say it? I don't want to get it wrong.
It's becoming a running joke in the comments to our YouTube channel that I'm not YouTube channel, I'm sorry, on our TikTok, that not only am I saying it wrong every time, but I'm being consistently unique with it, that I keep getting it wrong in different ways.
It's one of those names, though. It is. That's why I'm trying. I'm trying.
So the level of excitement for this match across the board here, everybody was at a 10 except me. I was at a 4. And so I feel this is an unfair situation for any of us to really give grades to this particular match because of the situation. I am not a Liv Morgan fan, but I will say this: based on the work that was put in to building this match, if you want to make an argument for the 3 women's matches all being short, if I was going to add time to any of them, it would have been this one. I don't really feel like this one was fleshed out. And I know for a fact, I could prove this, that I'm under the assumption that they were told they had more time and then it was cut. Because I could tell by the way this match was put together, there was a lot of moving parts and it was happening really, really fast. Now, I had asked a question to you because in true Liv Morgan fashion, I took a dump during this match. I had to watch it later. And that's also a bad sign. I went to the bathroom when the match started. It was over while I was still in the bathroom, which is not good. So when I came out, I had asked the two of you, did she win clean or did she win as a heel? You had stated that it was
Not clean.
not clean.
I don't understand why your wife's saying it was clean. She did not win clean.
Okay.
There was an interference.
Wait. So I watched it back. She won clean. And
dude.
here's the reason why I
Just
feel
because
like
it wasn't successful doesn't mean it was
no. But hear me out, right? So this is my evidence, my case, to where I think the girls in this match, in particular, got fucked. Because I think the way they put this together, there was more that was supposed to happen, and then when the time got cut, there was some spots and some moments that slipped through the cracks, and they didn't account for it when they were cutting the match down, because the match itself is taking place. Raquel and Roxanne get involved. They did, in fact, interfere. They took their turns, whatever. Raquel did something and then it interfered. She took a shot, but then she got Raquel back. Roxanne did something and then took a shot, but then she got Roxanne back and then back into the ring with Liv. And then at one point, Steph dives over the top rope and takes out Roxanne and Raquel. At that point, that interference is hanging on by a thread because the actual interference itself didn't cause Stephanie to lose the match, so it's not a heel finish at that point. When Steph dives onto them, that negates them from the match. But technically, because Steph's focus is on them, you could still count this as interference.
Hey, listen, if you don't believe me, Liv said it herself.
Until she does take her out, then goes back into the ring and goes on offense. That negates all interference.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. It completely, she is in control of the match. The interference did not work. It does not.
Now they're in your head. They're in your head now.
But she's not anymore. She just took them out.
They're still out there.
Negated. And then, no, they're on the floor. Being out there doesn't mean anything if they're in pain. And now, not only are the two out there, she's executing offense on Liv. She's in control. And then there's the backstabber turned into a code breaker, turned into oblivion. So not only did she negate the offense, Liv executed several moves before actually finishing her off and pinning her 1, 2, 3. Now, this is where I feel like they got screwed right here because everything I just described to you was part of all sequenced to be a part of their finish. But the match itself was only 7 minutes. So they did their usual beginning to start. They had a hurried up finish, which means I could tell by the match structure they gutted a lot of that middle. They took a lot of that middle shit out. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off this way, listen for the call in the middle to get this thing going. When the girls come out, now we hit into this sequence, and then we're gonna do bang bang boom, and then you're gonna beat me 1, 2, 3. They had to condense it. So of the 3 matches that happened in a row, actually it wasn't in a row. Gunther and Seth broke it up, but between the 4-way being 8, and we didn't mind the 4-way being 8 because it was the 4-way. Becky and AJ, I just said 2 seconds ago, A-okay with the 8 minutes. Anything more than that probably would have blew them up. The match is going to start getting clunky at that point. No need, right? This match, hello, not a Liv Morgan fan. This match, I have to admit, they were screwed. This match probably would have been a little higher up if they would have had more time. Now, it's no guarantee. Like I said, it's still Liv Morgan. Maybe if you give him 5 more minutes, she shits the bed completely. I don't know. But I feel like it would have been a fair. I feel Liv, and again, I don't like Liv, but I feel Liv and Steph deserved a little bit more time. And don't feed me the bullshit about, well, they were just both recently injured and we didn't want them to go too long. You had Liv in the ring the very next night against Sol Roca. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So the level of excitement, as I said before, for this particular match, 4, 10, 10, 10. What was your number?
4, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
For this shit?
Hold on a second. Let me.
Wait, no,
confirm.
yes. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up. You are correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I'll confirm here. Yeah, the guys were all 10s.
You're right.
Yeah, if you look at the clip, the only reason why I shit on it at all is because everybody was hyped on the build.
What was mine?
Yours was 10.
Was 10. And I stand on that in that moment. But the thing that was really dragging me down after talking to you guys is I knew there was no way Stephanie was winning. And that's what killed me because my excitement was 10 to see her go through this program and come out of it.
Right.
And instead, they stripped it from her, put it on Morgan with some stupid ass new theme that's going to be shoved down my fucking throat right now that I cannot stand to hear. And she's in the ring working. She is no Rhea Ripley. And I feel like they're trying to make her that person right now. Yeah. And I don't like it. I do not like seeing her shit on the women's division with 2 of her family members standing right behind her who are women in that same division. I know you can say, oh, it's part of the act or the whatever. Then don't have her in the group. It doesn't make sense to me. If you want her to be an individual who is, it's part of the rub, like that's part of her being an asshole. Fair. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. Don't be a part of a group that you're calling family because I can already see the writing on the wall. Eventually, at some point, and it'll probably, if there is, once there inevitably is a split, they're going to use that as the driving force of, you never respected me or some bullshit. I don't like it. It's stupid. Especially when there's, in my eyes, I know you can spin all that bullshit you want about them being out of the match. Even Liv said herself she couldn't have done it without her family. And if that's the way you're going, I just don't like that type of storytelling. If people like it, they like it. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. And she's the front runner with Dominic. I'm sorry, bro. Maybe she is money-wise. I don't know the numbers because at the end of the day, when I see it, my brain goes straight to the fact of, okay, she might do more numbers. It has to be because it makes no sense to me that Liv Morgan is the focal point when you have Dominic Mysterio in the fucking ring playing as her pet. The writing in this group to me doesn't make any sense. And to be honest with you, I came to a realization when you guys were all bigging up JD McDonough, I was so confused. I'm like, wait, who is this y'all talking about who's fucking nice? Nice? What are you talking about? And then I kind of started watching a little bit more. And I'm like, oh, he's getting lost in the bullshit of the thing that I don't like about this group.
Yeah.
So my problem with this match obviously stems a little further outside of Liv. I like the work Liv is doing. I don't like it in this group. I think it's terrible. She shouldn't be the front runner. She is not the front runner here. She can be picked up by her little neck and thrown out of the ring by anyone, almost anyone in that ring. There's one woman she could actually have a fist fight with Roxanne. Everyone else would toss her to the side. She's not bossing anybody. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't like it. And the fact that they built this good, they talked a lot of shit, Steph should have came out on top on here. She could have. She should have. It would have been great for her, but instead, they went an old route that they do, and instead of taking all that build up and piling it onto Steph, who could use it, and Liv wouldn't have lost out on that loss, they decided to stack it on Liv for some reason, and now let's see what they do with Stephanie.
Well, you were at a 10. I'm assuming based on everything you just said, you're lowering that number.
I'm about an 8. I just don't like that Liv won. All just because Liv won. I really just don't like that they made that decision.
Lex was a 10, and he brought it down to an 8 as well. So you guys are matching scores. Joe was a 10. He brought it to a fucking 1. And the exact thing that he texted me, because he just gave me numbers, but for this one, he wrote 1 because of that whack-ass song and shit entrance. She's lucky I didn't give it a 0.
Yes,
that's what she wrote.
So bad. It's so
okay.
Bad,
I put a 4. I'm gonna stay 4. Only for the thing is because I still do believe that they got fucked out of their time, but that's as far as my sympathy goes because I don't know what they would have done with the time. I don't know if 5 more minutes would have hurt or helped based on who was in the ring. So I can't go by that. The entrance, say what you want. It's not for me, obviously. Duh. That's not going to be my kind of song or fucking entrance or any of that shit. I don't know who got it in their head to tell her that she's hot. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I'm going to stay with the 4, and I'll end this segment by saying this. When she was in the Riot Squad and she was one of 3 women, she was very easily the worst wrestler of the 3, but she kind of got the personality. Now she's in the Judgment Day, and here we are again. She's the worst wrestler of the 3, but you kind of get the character. That's Liv. That's Liv fucking Morgan. It just is what it is. There's a lot of people that like her. There's a lot of people that hate her.
Dominic Mysterio. That's the problem.
That
argument doesn't fit here.
How do you feel about the argument that Dom is where he is right now, almost in spite of the Liv thing? Like the Liv thing probably
would have hurting him being around it.
No, that he's magically still finding a way to either maintain or elevate, despite the fact because when he goes to AAA, Liv doesn't go with him.
Yeah, you're saying that it's hindering him.
I guess, of course, it's hindering him. But what I'm saying is doesn't it almost kind of give you? Doesn't it kind of make you almost give him more credit for still being successful despite that? Like the fact that he's able to do the ding dong pet thing and still go to Mexico and be the most fucking over individual on planet Earth. It's like such a weird dynamic.
They need to break this group up. It's gone on way too long.
I thought getting Finn out would have been that. That's where I thought this was headed because Finn. We'll get to this with the. Actually, no, we will. I'll save this for when we get to the Finn Balor Dominic Mysterio match because the whole idea of turning him back into the original Finn, I like it, but I don't like where it's going. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah. And so that takes us to the main event of night 1, and we're talking about the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And I'm glad that Cody was able to keep an eye out on Randy Orton and keep his wits about him. We just found out today that there will be no permanent damage to the eye. He's not going to lose his right eye or left eye, whichever one it is. He's going to heal, but he is looking rough. I don't recall anybody ever getting that shit sunk in like that from a punt kick from Randy Orton, man. He was looking like a sloth. Did you see his eye just kind of starting to melt away?
All stages of it, yeah.
Jesus. And on Monday, he had like the big purple.
It opened.
Shit.
It opened.
Yeah, it did. Thank goodness for that. But as a match, okay, I'm going to invoke the Drew McIntyre rule here. And Cody's kind of in that same space, which is probably why I don't like Cody versus McIntyre
deliberate
matches.
though. It's deliberate. He is trying to be Cena so hard.
Yeah,
He is trying to Cena so hard.
I've never seen someone work so hard at doing so little. And Randy is kind of in that same vein, but Randy has a charisma about him that's so much different from Cody. It doesn't feel forced from Randy. With Cody, there's always been an element of like manufactured with Cody, where it's just like I'm supposed to cheer him because they kind of want me to cheer for him, as opposed to like I just love Randy Orton. I just love this fucking guy. He could do no wrong in my eyes. And this match is exactly everything copy and paste that we said earlier about a Drew McIntyre match. This is what it's gonna be. This is a good Drew McIntyre versus Drew McIntyre matches. Cody Rhodes wrestles Cody Rhodes matches. It's just what it is. He's going for the emotion. He's trying to elicit responses. He's not going to go out there and do a million things in the ring. It's all going to be paced. It's all going to be comfortable. Like Randy says, he likes to bat 1,000. The level of excitement from us for the world title match, I was a 6, you were a 5. Lex and Joe were both 7s. Lex went from a 7 to a 4. Joe went from a 7 to a 5. You were a 5. You'll let me know where you are. I was a 6, and I'm bringing it down to a 4. Because
fuck it. I'm matching you at 4.
4. And they were the ones that got the time, and they're the WrestleMania main event, so I get it. But I think this particular match is the argument that you made earlier, that sometimes you don't want the match to be in too deep a water. You don't want it to get that long. I think this is a much different match if everything happens at 17 instead of 22.
I think it's a much different match without the bullshit.
Well,
the extra shit. If it was just Cody and Randy, I'll stay at 5.
Well, we just had the conversation. We just had the conversation at the beginning of this episode. For those of you watching, I'm going to click the whole segment out. Wrestling Talking Points. Go listen to it. We just broke it down. Mark Shapiro, the president of TKO, saying they've got their hands in creative. I want to take points away for that. But this was a 20-year feud that didn't need all this extra we didn't need a Jelly Roll. We didn't need a Pat McAfee. We didn't need any of that shit. But now we're all learning that it wasn't really up for fucking discussion. This shit's gonna here are the toys, make it fucking work. Maybe we should applaud that it was limited in the sense of Pat kind of got taken out by Jelly Roll at the very beginning, and then they were allowed to kind of have their own match, and then Pat McAfee comes back out at the end to be a part of the finish, even down to Randy Orton RKOing him to sever the relationship, so we don't have to see this anymore. But it just looked like that whole the handling of Pat McAfee just felt petty, almost. Oh, you want him at WrestleMania? Okay, cool. Pat, go out there, do the ring introduction, get some heat for him. Stand out there, try to get a little involved, get a little handsy with Cody, and then Cody's going to fucking give you all of his moves and fuck you up and then throw you out into the outside area, to which Jelly Roll will use his jitsu to arrive out of nowhere and splash you through a table so that you can come back here and take a break, and then we'll put you in a neck brace and a referee shirt later, and then we're going to have you go out there, count to 2, which you should count to 3, but fuck it, because what sense does that make? You're trying to screw over a champion and you stop at 2. And then your excuses, you look at Randy, you go 1, 2, you look at Randy, he kicked out. What the fuck does that matter?
No, that shit cracked me. You pointed that out. I wanted to disagree with you so hard. That shit made no fucking sense at all.
It's like intending to go out into the street to rob somebody, and the minute you put your hands on their pockets or their pants, and they go, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop!" You just stop. You go, "Well, I was gonna rob him, but he said not to, so I don't know what to do now. I guess I'm just gonna leave." So he caught an RKO for his stupidity, and now he's out. And now Pat McAfee is tweeting that he's retired from pro wrestling. He's done. Here's a side of this Pat McAfee thing that I don't think people really considered. Maybe Pat McAfee didn't want to do this. maybe this was just
Two things can exist at the same time.
like we're all killing Pat because this is all stuff that we didn't really want to see and we didn't really want. Maybe the reason why he's disappearing from wrestling at this point is because they were asking him to do shit that he didn't want to do. You know, you think he wanted to go out there and cut a fucking promo about how shitty the business is, or he didn't go out there and just freestyle a fucking promo. At the very least, there was some talking points that they gave him. They wanted him to go out there and try to get heat. That was their version of heat. So, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, but as far as the matches go, I'm not going to say it was as bad as last year when he had Cena at last year's WrestleMania, and they purposely went out of their way to make that a bad match. I have no idea how it was that terrible of a fucking main event, especially for his last main event ever at WrestleMania. For that to be as bad of a match as humanly possible is crazy. This match was a little better, but there were so many bells and whistles on this that it just took away from the actual drama and the actual enjoyment of this match. And I think everyone felt it. This was not appreciated by a lot of people. This was not. So we have the level. Let me see here. I think I already did it, right? Yeah, you pretty much stayed in the middle, 5-4. But anything else about this match that really stood out to you?
It's a Cody match, man. It's a Cody match. I don't know. I stand on the fact that Drew and Randy would have been better, but
you know what? I don't know now because like I just said 2 seconds ago, Cody and Drew are kind of comparable to me. I don't know.
I'll make your argument. Randy will pull that out of you. Randy will pull it out of you.
I think Drew would have had a more physical match. Drew would have been more physical.
That would have been better for me.
It would have felt that. It would have felt more like a fight with Drew than it does with Cody. I'll give you that. Yeah,
it is what it is.
All right, that concludes night 1. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on that main event for a goddamn reason. No. So that concludes night 1. Let's go ahead just really quickly, and we're gonna steer right into our main event.
It is now time for the main event of the evening.
Here you go. Here we go. Night 2 starts off with a battle of the behemoths. Okay, it is a clash of titans, and there's the strut, baby. 4 minutes, 46 seconds, and let me tell you this. We were 10s across the board. Everybody in this room was a full 10, and I got to tell you right now, before I give you the other guys, I'm a 10. I'm still a 10.
This was standing on 10. We 10 toes down.
Standing on 10. 10 toes down. Joe was a 10. He brought it down to an 8. Okay. And Lex was a 10, and he wrote 9.5. I got to find out what that 0.5 was all about. But
yeah,
listen, this was exactly what it needed to be. I don't think it was. We said it on the podcast. This is not. They don't work by the hour here. This was going to be quick. It was going to be fast. Everyone with a brain in their head knew what it was, and we don't need to go blow for blow because everyone saw what it was, and it was a great performance by both guys. As far as the storytelling of Brock, just couldn't keep this guy down. He hit him with all the normal big stuff, and Oba would just eating through everything, and then eventually hit him with the big move, the fall from grace, 1, 2, 3, power bomb. If it had ended there, I would have still been on my 10 because this is the kind of shit we always say that we need to do to get a guy over, right? This kind of how many guys have done this?
Please don't do this often or try to, but this is a very unique moment in time.
Yeah, how many guys have done this job to Brock, right? To push Brock up, to get him elevated, and now Brock doing it for Oba. It was an amazing thing. And then, out of nowhere, he's sitting in the ring, and I start seeing a level of emotion from Brock Lesnar I have never seen. And I first saw Brock Lesnar in 2002, and it is 2026, so 24 years. I have never seen this level of emotion out of him in my life. This dude was so emotional, his face got beat red. and he starts taking off the boots.
He was
And
crying.
did you hear the pop when he sat down and he's like started fucking with his laces? And everybody
Oh,
was
I
like,
was screaming.
they were like, no, not you two. Don't leave me. Oh my God. And he starts taking off the stuff and he's getting emotional and it's a whole thing. And you know what? The first time he left us was in 2004. And it was at the Garden. And of course, it's New York. So it's, fuck you, Lesnar, da, 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 da. They're letting him have it. And he flips him off. And it ended poorly. And then he went off and did all the shit that he did, and he came back to a nice applause. And then it was still very up and down. People didn't like the fact that he kept taking breaks. He wasn't a real champion, despite being champion for like 400 and something days. And so, like, Brock has always had a love-hate relationship with fans. But over the last few years, we've seen kind of a change in his demeanor. He's high-fiving fans. He's shaking babies' hands. He's wearing the cowboy hat. We saw Boombox Brock for a little while doing some stuff. He's kind of had a change in heart. And I think it counts for something because the minute those boots came off and the gloves came off and he started doing the wave, he got a standing ovation. He didn't get a pop. He didn't get a loud. Everyone just stood up and applauded. And they were saying, "Thank you, Lesnar." And you could tell that the love was affecting him because he kept saying, "Thank you. Thank you. It means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you." And he threw up the X, by the way, which is being interpreted different ways. I know in wrestling, the X from a referee means an injury. This is real. And I think that's the way I'd like to think of it, that he was looking at Paul in that moment and letting him know, now it's a shoot. Yeah, this is it.
I'm done. Done.
Paul got emotional, and it was a whole thing. And me and Steph were looking at the TV, and we're just like, did he just fucking do that? And now we're hearing from people behind the scenes that they didn't know he was going to do that. There's like one or two people in production that they kept it on him for a reason.
I didn't know he was going to do that.
There were like a handful of people that he confided in. That's why the camera shot the way that it was, because they were ready to do it.
Paul didn't know that shit was happening.
It didn't look like Paul knew, and
I'm wrong. He made it very clear, though. It was his emotion.
And there was a lot of people apparently in the locker room that tweeted like, "What's happening? What is this?" Like, there was a lot of confused fucking faces. Mm-hmm. But my wife brought up a good point. She said, "Didn't you bring up on the podcast that you've been hearing about the possibilities of a retirement?" And I think I even asked the question on the show. I think it was to Joe, where it was like, how do you start to build that? Like, how do you start slowing him down? Because he's been so pushed for so long. He's been so protected for so long. How do you start to break that down into a retirement? And I guess the answer is you don't. You keep him on top all the way through. He does one big gigantic gesture and he rides off into the sunset, because that's what he did. As opposed to taking several losses in a row and putting guys over.
Well, the dope thing to me too is that my brain kept going back to the records broken, the smashing Cena, the Undertaker WrestleMania thing, all the accolades that he had. And when I brought that up, it was brought up that, he has taken L's, like even to Roman and stuff like that too. But to me, obviously, I didn't know what was happening. This makes that more special, because you're not just the guy who beat him. You retired him.
Yeah.
So now you say whatever you want about whoever beat him before or after those moments have happened. This, to me, solidifies a passing of that torch. Yeah. This is our new Brock Lesnar.
Did you hear what they were calling him? They were saying that he was the new next big thing. He was the new. I don't know if anybody else caught it. A few people did. I saw some memes for it. When the match was over, Oba's the winner. But when the match was over, he got his hand raised and then he left.
He immediately. I think he was one of the few who knew what was going to happen. He might have,
because after he left
instantly.
He got out instantly. He got out of the ring and he turned around. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see it. He turned around, looked at Lesnar and went, "Hats off to you, sir. Thank you so much for what you just did." And he turned around and he
changed his life. All his hard work
changed his life forever. Yep.
today. His life starts today. That moment, massive.
One
massive.
loss, one win over Brock Lesnar. He's now a main event player. Right now, he's a main event player.
And it's the way they stacked it. The fact that the match is 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Like,
yeah,
perfection. Absolute perfect. If
you have
one shot, you got one opportunity to do something at this level, at this caliber, with this person, with this talent, with that guy who you're putting all your chips in.
Yeah.
They fucking nailed it, dude.
They nailed it. And then the cherry on the Sunday, they open Raw the next night with the entrance.
Yep.
And he just sits in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I said earlier about the no ego process of it? It's WrestleMania. You just beat Brock Lesnar. You think you'd have your moment there. He said, no, Lesnar's moment. I'll get my moment tomorrow. And he stood in the ring and he listened to that building just shower him with love. And all he said is the ruler has arrived and that's
Done.
it. Boom. Get
Done.
the fuck out. That's it.
Get the fuck out.
And
And I'll tell you what, those WrestleMania green belts, I want one of them motherfuckers. Those shit look sick, dude.
Did you
so
see
good
when Roman did the press conference at the end, the post show? He was sitting down and they were asking him questions and they were chanting, "Oba's gonna kill you."
He said, this guy is bipolar as fuck.
I love his response to it. Did you see Roman's respond to it? He's like,
he killed that interview. He said,
he said, "Oh, you gonna kill me?" He's "That's what you gonna do? You gonna kill me?" He said, "Hey man, you did a big thing tonight. Big thing. But I've done that many times."
Let's see how you hold up through the summer. That's
Yep.
it. Let's see. Listen. We are, and now it all makes sense. All the Roman coming back, putting the belt back on Roman saying he's gonna go for. This is all making sense. We are about to pass another torch onto Oba. We need to build it. And Roman is coming to do the job, and he's coming to work. Now, the thing I fucking love about Roman is nothing is solidified. So if you come in here and fucking bomb, I'm going over. I believe that to be true. I think when you are with Roman, if you are not delivering, they will pull the trigger. I don't think it's gonna happen. He's gonna be fine, but I that's how I feel about him, which is why I love the comment. Let's see what you do through the summer. Let's see if you can keep it up. Because if you can, then we're gonna work. If not,
let's go. Yeah, you gotta earn that shit. Goes on to the next one, my guy.
I've done that many times. That's a Tuesday, my man.
Yeah,
I did that shit before I hit the gym, bro. What is you talking about?
So officially for us here on this show, despite years of doing so, it appears that this will be the last review that we ever have of a Brock Lesnar match. So, sir, a tip of the cap to you, sir. A job well done. A job well done.
That's fucking awesome.
So we lead on to our next match, which is the 6-pack ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta defending against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. And can I be honest? I'm going to be honest. I don't lie on this show.
What's the number?
Honest. I didn't see it.
At all?
I didn't see the match. I started the match. I started it. And then I quickly came to my senses and realized, multi-man ladder match. So I went to go take another dump. I didn't watch it back. No, I've seen some clips on YouTube. Big O OG Cutter and Rey Mysterio smashing his own face into a ladder because he's an idiot. I've seen a couple of the clips. It's the George Lopez. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. They do the same shit. Rinse and repeat. There's nobody is sitting down and telling these dudes, "Hey, look, let's do this, let's try this." Nope, it's all the same stuff. There's 6 people in the match. 2 people in the ring, the other 4 are outside selling, and they just exchange spots over and over and over and over and over. If that's the type of shit you're into, that's fine. I'm not shitting on anybody on it. My level of excitement was a 3, just for the sake of fairness, because I didn't even watch it. I'm gonna leave it at a 3. I didn't even watch Steph and Liv. Remember, I said I went to the bathroom at your house. I watched it back. There was a few things that I had missed in other matches. I watched it back. I did not watch this one back. I did notice, however, that my pick for the win was correct, because thank goodness, because I don't want Penta to lose that title just yet. We're
not
moving.
yet.
We got something going with that. Yeah, we're not there
yet. He's doing great with that right now. We're good. We didn't need to.
You were a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand?
I'm gonna give him a 5.
Hey,
I'm gonna give him a 5 again. Javon Evans, man, my eyes are locked in on this guy, man. I love what he's doing. I don't know if it was the Bojangles comment that was made. He's getting a lot tougher. He's getting a lot slicker with his mouth. He's getting a lot of, all right, let's like punch you in the face type of shit. He's striking. Like, he threw a jab in there. I forget who he hit. I was like, God, he hit him for real. Like, he tough though. He's giving. You got to be careful, because he is a smaller guy. I'm not saying he doesn't have hands, but there's a big difference between being at the corner store and being in the ring with a lot. Even if they're shorter than you, they could very well be much stronger and bigger than you. So you just got, not that he can't defend himself. My point is, visually, aesthetically, I don't want to see some scrawny dude acting like he's Brock Lesnar, is what I'm trying to get to. So I like what he's doing. I like that he did do some bigger spots than he did from the chamber with the cutter and everything like that. But again, he's not getting completely stupid with it, which is, I love that. So he did exactly what I wanted from him. My problem, and Penta holding the belt is what I wanted. I don't know who we're gonna get him to drop that to, but for right now, he's doing what he needs to do. So those 2 delivered. Dragon Lee, I'm not a big Dragon Lee person. I'm sure there's tons of fans. I don't dislike him. I just think this is my problem with this match as far as like who would win, right? So Dragon Lee, I think he just needs more time, some development, and like, what are they going to do? JD McDonough, I think he's being held back by his stable right now. We need to move him away and let him work. Rusev, he's in a weird spot, because he's big enough to be in the heavyweight situation. I feel like the contenders for the IT belt, he's kind of a little big for that. It sounds weird. Not big like, I mean stature, not like fame or anything like that. I don't know. It just looks a little off, but it's okay. He worked. He did well in there, but again, I need more. Like I don't. If Rusev got the belt, I wouldn't be okay with it. I just think it would be a bad decision. So he needs more work. And Ray just was Ray. He did Ray stuff. He was a little guy, got thrown around. I will say, when I saw it, I'm going to be honest. No one was here. I could keep it to myself if I want to. But what I will say is that 619 with the ladder, I liked it. When I saw it happen.
Why did you feel like you had to whisper that shit? I kind of like that spot or nothing.
I'll sit here by myself like, oh shit.
Yeah. Let me not show too much excitement.
Well, I grabbed my daughter and lifted her against the wall and said, if you tell anybody you saw that shit.
You sold that 619.
That 619 into the ladder. I think the spot was, I mean, it was cool. I liked it. I saw it. I was like, oh, that was dope. So because of all of that, I think they're all moving in the right direction. I didn't hate anyone here, but if you're trying to sell me Penta's going to lose the title, I wouldn't buy it. So for that, I will leave it at 5. And I think it was good. It was all right for a ladder match. It was good.
Well, his level of excitement was a 4, and he stayed at 4.
Okay.
Lex was a 6. He bumped it up to a 7.
There you go.
That's where the other guys were.
He likes. What I'm learning about him though, he likes big. He likes big, which is why his. I think what was it? The one that kind of shocked us, the Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match went down. Something for him that was up went down, and I think it was because it wasn't big enough.
It was Drew and Jacob. He went from a 7 to a 3.
And for that, I understand. From what I'm learning about him and what he said, some wild shit about. he likes big. So it wasn't nothing spectacular going on there. So I could definitely see him bringing that down for sure.
Well, there you go. So let's go to our next match, which is the United States Championship match. It is the Gingerbread Man against the CVS employee, 1-on-1 for the United States Championship. I love when people tag me to the memes because I love me some memes. So during Trick's entrance, when he had that long white train going all the way up the ramp, somebody took the time to Photoshop a CVS receipt on it like that, all the way down. And that whole thing, and all it really says at the bottom is that you get to save $6 on your next purchase. It's pretty dope. There was a couple of deodorant stuff on there. It's pretty good. And so, this is the United States Championship match. This is Sami Zayn. This is Trick Williams. This is the one that I had a little bit of controversy around it, considering where this left Mello and the fact that Mello and Dragon. Did you see it?
Yeah, that people got way too much time on their hands.
That shit was posted while WrestleMania was still happening. Like, how'd you Photoshop that shit that fast?
I want that level of motivation, bro. When something pops into my head, I need to jump right on it.
They were trying to be first before somebody else jumps on that, because I changed my whole thing around. When I first saw it, it looked to me like a when a toilet paper falls and it leaves that long trail, like it rolls, but the paper doesn't go with it. It just leaves like a long trail of white paper. I was like, it looked like a roll of toilet paper just went down the WrestleMania ramp. But then the CVS thing happened. I was like, no, way better. This is the one where everyone got upset because it left Mello and Dragunov completely off the card, despite all of the phenomenal matches they've been having recently. They went with Zayn and Trick Williams, with Trick Williams coming out on top here and becoming the new United States Championship. Now, we all have our eyes on Oba, for sure. And we all have our eyes on Javon for two different reasons. But we both see a lot in those two individuals. Not as big on Trick as a lot of people are. I know the people get into the theme music and all that stuff, but the in-ring, I don't know. I get the Booker T comparisons now. Now I get them. Now when I see him move and stuff, now I kind of get that. But, the lemon pepper steppers and the other shit, and all the other shit, it does make me chuckle. I'm not going to lie. And I think I like the lemon pepper steppers now even more when I saw Triple H's interview with Shawn and they were going back and forth and they were talking about the talent that's in WWE right now. And he said, I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. I don't even know what lemon pepper steppers are. I just know that if he ever runs into cool shit to say, he's not getting any from me because I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So I just know it works. He said, I just know it works. I don't know what the hell he's talking about half the time. But it is so great. Somebody, by the way, commented underneath that YouTube video and said, yeah, you probably need more black people on staff. But that's neither here nor there. Let's say there are some people out here that do knows.
Stop.
The lemon pepper steppers.
Fucking just stop. You're about to have one of the biggest. If trajectory maintains the way we see it, one of the biggest WWE stars in history is fucking from Nigeria. So he's
promoting African Americans and Africans.
This I said before. This is the Nigerian gimmick. Vince is always, man. He's creaming his pants right now, dude.
The big black guy he always wanted.
Oh my god! Oh, can you imagine? He definitely finished when he pinned him 1, 2, 3 last night. That day.
Belgian dip pin for him.
He goes, "Oh, my white paycheck, my black paycheck just replaced my white one. This is amazing."
Wasn't am I bugging? In the reports, didn't he name like a vibrator after Lesnar?
He had all the big stars.
Yeah, he needs to go out to the store and get him an Oba.
Dude, come on. See, now I'm hurt because I'm pretty sure I made that joke on our last live event.
The live
hit with that Oba. Yep.
Is this
that Femi?
Is that bitch with a Femi last night, son? She didn't know it was coming. She was walking.
She is in a wheelchair forever.
I had to take her to a city MD as quickly as possible. The Sami Zayn fatigue seems to be at a high point right now. There seems to be a lot of people that are just saying right there, maybe right now after WrestleMania, it's time to take a little bit of an extended vacation or something. Just a little something. Take the fucking edge off and just rest up, recharge the batteries, so to speak. Because I honestly don't think leaning into the booze is going to help. I don't think turning him heel will freshen him up. I genuinely think he needs a break. I genuinely believe that. I think he just needs to be off TV for a little bit. Just, how can I miss you if you won't go away? Just a little bit. Just because I just the responses to him, it's not even mixed anymore. You could literally hear the animosity from people. It's good. Like they say in the industry, there's the difference between heat and go away heat. And he's inching that meter starting to move a little in that direction. And it sucks because for a while there, they were actually clamoring for him to become WWE champion. And now it's a completely, I don't know. They're going to have to reshuffle the deck on Sami Zayn at some point. He went from being a guy that we weren't even sure was going to survive on the main roster to a guy they shoehorned into Mania just to get Sami Zayn on WrestleMania. So that's great. That's progress, but we might need to take some time off. The level of excitement for this match was me 3, you 1, Joe 2, Lex 5. Now Lex moved it up to a 6. Joe moved it up to a 5. He went from 2 to 5. You were a 1. Where do you stand on that 1?
I don't know. I might have to go 6.
6.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, as I sit here, I might say 7.
I'll put 7.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna go 7 because
the match was that good.
I don't disagree. With. I've been screaming Sami fatigue long before you have.
Yes,
but seeing them boo him so definitively, I don't know. I could do a little bit of this. I could take this like this, and like you said, he's tried to run a heel thing before, so he's gotten boos. But like, this is different.
They really hate him now.
Well, hold on, don't take a break yet.
Yeah,
hate. I like it. I want to bask in that a little bit, and so I don't know if it was just that, but I have criticized Trick Williams. I don't think I've been too harsh on him. I just not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked him here. He was good. He did good, and to see him, I like Lil Yachty too. He's cool. So the package
fit here, yeah.
I think they work together really well. I feel like Trick's getting a little cleaner. His talking's getting a little bit better. His movement in the ring is a little bit better. I would love for them to go full tilt Booker T. I'll be okay with that. We're getting that in a lot of people anyway, right? Like, how come we can't get the Booker T nostalgia act? You know what I'm saying? Like, with his own little flavor in it. I'm not fully on the Trick Williams bandwagon, but I got my eyes on him. I think with some time, a little bit of more exposure, get the lights on him a little bit. He's got the look. He's funny. Let's see if he can get a little bit better. So I bumped my score up because I think Trick did well. I'm not all the way. I don't know if it's because Sami had it, but I'm not all the way upset that he got the United States title. Let's see where they go with it. I'm locked in now. Let's see what you can do.
My level of excitement was a 3. I'm staying at a 3.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't move me either way. So I'm starting to get that fatigue, and I'm not as high on Trick as a lot of people. But again, like you said, I'm open to changing my mind.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything
yet
egregious. So
yeah, I'll give him that. He hasn't done anything like to make me go, "Oh my god, this guy is the shits." But at the same time, like, I'm not overly like if I had to spin any positive to it, maybe the US title is perfect because it's like right in the middle, and it's the title itself right now is currently surrounded by some really good talent. So if he's gonna stand out at some point, it's gonna be soon with the US Championship. And not for nothing, I know we did a lot of celebrity shit for WrestleMania, but of all the celebrities that went to WrestleMania, Yachty was the one that fit. in this little
Yachty's
situation. Yachty was the one that fit. So if they were ever going to bring Yachty back, I wouldn't be mad.
To
Especially
be
to work
fair,
with Trick.
too, out of a lot of people who get brought into this, Yachty's one of those that like this size stadium it's a Tuesday for him.
Yeah.
He's that big, and he came out. I don't know. Obviously, you don't know, but he has a very famous concert that he came out to, and he did this. The way he entered the concert, people talk about all the time, and he did it here when he came out. Like the way he came out was a reference to that one concert or I think it was a festival or something that everyone talks to. Like it was really cool what he did. So it was cool to see him do it here when he came out for Trick.
I gotta look that up. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
All right,
I
cool.
think they made mention to it on one of the conversations with him here. I forget who was talking to him, but yeah, he's well aware that moment was a cool moment. So he did it here, which when I saw, I was like, okay, that's kind of fire the way he came out. I was like, okay, I see it.
He's kind of, I fuck with it. Okay, all right. All right, then. And that takes us to the Demon, Dominic Mysterio. Level of excitement. I was down to a 3 for this one, and I lost points because of the Demon aspect. You were a 7. Joe was a 6, and Lex was an 8. By the end of this, Lex went from an 8 to a 7. Kind of stayed in the same realm. Joe's 10 tones down. It was excited at a 6, and he thought it was a 6.
Okay, that's fair.
You standing on 7?
I'm gonna go down to 5.
Okay.
And the main reason why Finn's heart's not in it, man. And you said it.
Yeah.
It just didn't. It was nice. I was excited to see it. It was cool, but it's one of those like, I don't know, when you tell the guy to do the thing he doesn't like doing, but he knows he's famous for it, so he does it, and you're just like, he did it, but like, come on, man, where's the passion? You know what I mean? Where's your... So it was nice to see him out there. It was nice to see the Demon. It was nice to see him not get injured as the Demon. And it was even like the night after, it was nice to kind of see him not the Demon and being Finn Balor, knowing that the Demon is still here like he used to do before. He wouldn't always bring the Demon out. The Demon would only come out at specific times. But again, to your point, to everyone's point, you can't, it's like reading off the TV that he doesn't want to be doing this right now. This is not where his heart's at. So I'll stay for what it's worth. The match was decent, but I don't know, it kind of took me out of it a little bit. I can see that he just did not fucking want to do that.
I was at a 3. I'm gonna bump it up to about a 4, and that's only because I'm giving a little extra credit, like you said. You could read it that he didn't really want to do it again, but I also don't want to hype it because this is a weird thing to say out loud, but I don't want the Demon to be successful because I don't want them to have to keep putting him in that paint because it works every time he does it. And I get that the fans want to see it because it's cool and it's just a great visual. I understand that. And technically speaking, he doesn't have a problem with being the Demon. What he has a problem with is the way that they present the Demon. If you look at the way that he performs the character, the entrance with the color and has the Demon on the back, and he had
he came out basic Demon too, because usually on WrestleMania he did something crazy with the Demon.
Well, I was just gonna say he had the scepter this time, and the scepter did like things. They dropped streamers down,
an obnoxious amount of streamers,
like to the point where if he was already in a bad mood,
I'm hot.
Now he's fucking furious because this shit is stuck in his spikes. It's all over. He has to fucking move it so that the camera can catch his face. It's all over his fucking scepter. He put all this work into the scepter. Now you can't see the scepter. Then he goes into the rope. He has the smoke sticks or whatever the fuck. You could tell on paper they had this really elaborate plan on how big it was going to look like at scope. And then by the end of it, you go, man, you take one thing out of that entrance looks dope. The streamers fucked everything up. It was fucking everywhere. And he couldn't see shit. It was fucking a mess. But he got into the match. Dom did his thing, and I don't want to lose track. I know we're going to sit here and talk a lot about Finn, but I got to go back to this. And you know what? I am okay with repeating myself. I am okay with repeating myself. But every time I fucking see Dom, somehow, he's better than the last time I saw him. And I don't understand how that keeps consistently happening with this guy. Every time I see him, he's added a new element, a new wrinkle. There's something else that he's trying. This motherfucker, you know how attention to detail this dude? During Finn's entrance, and I guess the cameraman caught it. Dom's not even in the ring. He's like hiding behind the announcers on like one knee. He's like watching and peering over to see what the fuck this guy does. He fucking gets it. He understands the industry. And I know people say, wait, yeah, he's born into it. You know, his dad was a wrestler. Not every wrestler's kid has these kinds of fucking instincts. He just has
didn't think he did, to be fair.
Nope, didn't see it for not even like in the beginning, but like for a number of years. He just screamed Nepo baby, like he just couldn't get over it. And then out of the fucking blue, all of a sudden,
man. Put him on Rio.
Oh my god. So yeah, you have to give Dom some credit for this match. It's obviously not the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, but it did drag some points across, like especially what we were talking about earlier as far as me saying Dom kind of succeeds in spite of Liv, where this is one of those situations where like Liv's not there and he's cooking. He is still being Dom. Like he could very easily be Dom without Liv. I don't know if Liv is still Liv without Dom. And I know that Dom, like for instance, her match, Dom wasn't there until the end when he came to celebrate. But there is something to Liv about feeding off of another person that really helps Liv during her process. I don't see that with Dom. I feel like Dom can be in the ring with just about anybody and perform at a certain level. I'm getting that vibe. Yeah. So this wasn't,
man. This stable needs to just be separated and let the chips fall where they may. To be honest with you,
let the chips fall where they may. The Demon, I don't really want this to continue to be a thing unless it's going to be done the way that he wants it done. I mentioned it earlier, but I didn't go into specifics. He had made mention, he doesn't like when they advertise it. He doesn't like
that was my part about this.
He doesn't like advertising the Demon. He doesn't like that. It shouldn't be a thing where we're putting it on posters and shit like that. He likes it better when it can happen on any given night. You know what I'm saying? Like at any point in time now.
You have to bring it out of me. It's something that like it's
that's the other part. Well, that's the other part. He doesn't like that part either.
Really?
No, because what happened with the way that he explained it, he said what ended up happening in NXT is that the way that they presented the Demon is that it needed to be drawn out, right? So like they have me getting my ass kicked like every week, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden I put on the paint and like so as Finn Balor I can't beat this guy, but as the Demon I can beat him. So like it was fucking with him because it's just like I don't want that to be a thing where I can't beat a guy unless all of a sudden I'm wearing face paint. He said the way that I did it on the indies, it wasn't a level of intensity because I couldn't defeat an opponent. It was a level of unpredictability to keep an opponent off the trail, kind of like on his toes. You know, it was a mind fuck. I like using the character more as a mind fuck. Even if it's a guy that I can beat or if it's a guy I can't beat, it shouldn't play into the factor of the Demon. The Demon should reveal itself when the Demon is ready to relieve himself on his own time. You know, it should be a part of my personality that I can't control. If it only comes out when I get my ass kicked, that's a level of control. There's something there that triggers it. If you don't have a trigger, it makes it more unpredictable. It actually makes it cooler in his eyes because it can happen at any given moment.
I don't disagree with him.
So that was for points. He said this, by the way, on Cody's podcast for anybody that wants to hear more details on specifically what he had said. But I'm just kind of surmising, I'm shortening it down, the kind of things that he was talking about as far as his concern about the actual character. So good match. It was all right. And we move on to the WWE Women's Championship match. Jade Cargill defending against Rhea Ripley. And boy, oh boy, the responses. Here's the headline. She didn't need this win.
Who?
Rhea.
They're fighting for Jade right now?
I don't even think they're fighting for Jade. I think they're just sick of seeing
Fighting
Rhea on top.
against Rhea. Sick of She sat back for like almost what? 2 years?
Yes.
After coming off one of the biggest manias she's ever had?
They took her out of the. Not only did they keep her away from the women's title, they took her out of the singles division. They put her in a tag.
Which they didn't do to Liv, by the way.
Yes, which they didn't do. Well,
no,
they did.
Twice she came back and she was damn near right back into the big picture.
No, the time before when she had hurt her shoulder, the one where she was away for a few months, she was in a tag. Her and Raquel got back together. So they did do it for a little bit. They were the tag team champ. Remember, she left and Roxanne took her place in the tag team championship
for 2 years.
No, not for 2 years.
Okay.
Rhea wasn't in the tag team for 2 years. She was only in the tag team for one. They became a tag team after last year's WrestleMania, and then after their feud, their match at Evolution, then they became a tag team because of mutual respect. So she wasn't in the tag team for 2 years, but that was part of my point. Before they put her in a tag team, she still wasn't in the title picture. So she was in the singles division, but no title. And then they moved her even lower when they took her out of the singles division altogether and put her in a fucking tag team. So she didn't need this win. Guys, they don't book winners entirely on need. Sometimes motherfuckers just like making money. And
LA Knight is your proof. That dude needs to win more than anyone in the fucking world right now.
Just like when LA Knight won that opener on Saturday, and while everybody got excited that he won, including you just sit here, no one actually believes that it's genuinely headed anywhere.
Sadly, no.
So yeah, it's not really going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So they absolutely
you can argue they advertise LA Knight more than they even do Cody Rhodes. I feel like LA Knight got more deals than Cody Rhodes does. And he still can't catch a W. It's crazy.
Bananas. But as far as this match goes, let me give you the level of excitement. Right? Let's get those numbers out there right now, right? I was a 2. You were an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Joe was a 9.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex was a 7. Now, both of them kind of stayed in their range. Lex was a 7. He moved it to a 6. Joe was a 9, moved it to a 7. Now you were an 8. Now before you explain your 8, I'm standing on my motherfucking 2. Because I said on the live convo, I said I want to see who throws their back out carrying their opponents, Stephanie or Rhea. Now Stephanie was at a handicap because they took time off of her match, but Jade what?
Oh, you're talking about between Stephanie's match and Rhea's match. I got you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so Stephanie didn't have the time necessary, and so I already spoke on that, and that I'm not going to penalize either one of them. That's a wash to me. Did Rhea carry Jade to a good match here? I vote no.
Okay.
I don't believe so, and there's subjective. It's my own opinion. I saw some effort on both sides to make this match as good as it could possibly make it, but I am now officially convinced Jade's not a professional fucking wrestler. Now, can she be a WWE superstar? Sure. There's enough bells and whistles with this company, sure. But she's not a wrestler. There's nothing there as far as wrestling is concerned. She's got no timing. She can't do anything without damn near injuring. No, there's nothing there. They're going to... as long as she stays in the shape that she's in, she's going to have a job. But she's not a great professional wrestler. She's not a good professional wrestler. Everybody on my fucking Facebook, oh my gosh, she was just really getting started. The heel thing was starting to work out. She was just cooked. She wasn't cooking shit. You like her, you like her. That's fine. She ain't making that. She ain't cooking with everybody. I didn't buy it. I didn't like it. The number that I gave just now, the 2, sticking with the 2. I'm glad Rhea's got the championship back. She looks great with a championship. This is the guy that said right here that all Rhea needs is a goddamn broomstick. And we called it when we spoke. We spoke on her entrance.
Mm-hmm.
We said, if she starts singing and she starts flowing and she starts moving, that's it. She's bringing it. She wasn't feeling it. Watch that entrance back. It wasn't there. She was doing her Raw entrance. And that's when I looked over at my wife and said, oh, we're in for a long night. We are. That means they had a meeting. They had a discussion about how this match was going to go. And she ain't a fan. So I said, oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. No, I didn't. I was extremely disappointed on how this match went down, despite the handicap that I said that Jade would be. I thought Rhea would be able to pull this off. Apparently, I think it was your exact sentence. If anybody on earth can get a good match out of Jade, it's Rhea. Well, guess what? Guess what? It can't be done. In my eyes, anyway. It can't be done. So you were at an 8. Stand on it.
I'm gonna stand on it.
Okay.
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
If Jade, how do I want to phrase that? You said that this wasn't a good match for Jade, but would you agree it was her best match?
No.
So this is the best I've ever seen her.
Okay.
Now,
well, hold on. The match that's popping into my head, you've seen. So why don't we compare? You let me know.
Which one is that?
The one with her and Naomi at WrestleMania last year.
No.
You think this one's better?
This is better.
Okay.
She just looks more refined here. For whatever
okay.
whatever that means. I know sometimes for a lot of people that when you hear words like this, you're assuming that I'm saying this was really good. It's
right.
Not what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you take a rigid rock.
Easy. Wait. Hear me out.
If you take a rigid rock and you smooth it for 10 hours and it's still rigid, but less rigid than it was 10 hours ago, it's still not a smooth rock, nor probably it will ever be. Who knows? But my point is, as I'm watching this, yes, I don't think there's a lot of people out here that is going to bring out what Rhea brought out of Jade here. I'm not saying Jade killed it. I'm just saying Jade did better. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is the best I've ever seen Jade. She's actually kind of working. Rhea is selling for her. Her moves look good. Like, there's some progress here. My problem with the words that I'm saying is that this is WrestleMania, and you are the champion. You can always get better, but you shouldn't be making levels of progression like this on the main stage. We should be paying out here. We should be celebrating all of our hard work, not trying to get a couple more stat points in our build here. So my point here, and the reason why I'm staying on 8, isn't necessarily because the match was an 8. I'm staying on 8 for the very fucking reason it was an 8 to begin with. I wanted to see what Rhea was going to do with her. And in my opinion, she did exactly what the fuck I thought she was going to do. She made her better, and she made her look better in my eyes. So I'm going to stay on 8. The match was a Rhea match. It was great to watch Rhea win. It was great to see her come down the aisle. It's great. And to the singing point that we had made before with them, because I think someone said, well, doesn't she always sing? But she sings different.
Yeah.
And when she hits every single word, from the moment she comes out to the second they stop her song in the ring, she's going over. And that made me so happy that in this moment right now, we're going in a different direction. Could Jade eventually be there? Clearly, they want her to be, so maybe. But this ain't it. So let's move forward. Let's do something different, and we'll go from there. But that's why I'm at an 8. Not for the match, but for it doing what I wanted it to.
Here's the only dangerous part to, like, that's fine if that's how you feel, but let's say that I shared in that opinion that you just had. What makes it dangerous? There's not a lot of Rhea Ripley's on the roster, so even if Rhea was to pull out a 5-star match from Jade, there's not a lot of women on the roster that can do that. There's not a lot of Rhea Ripley's on the card.
It's not Rhea's problem.
No, but it could be a WWE problem, because if you're investing this much in Jade, you gotta find somebody who's gonna be able to consistently get it out of Jade. If that's the case, then maybe the way they were going with her being the big bad villain and Michin and B-Fab are just gonna take all the bumps for her and kind of like just make her, just unstoppable force. Maybe that's the way to go. Use the big man formula for the big woman. For once, on the other side, the powerhouse of a female instead of a powerhouse of a male. That might
here's the
work
problem.
out.
But
you got to limit her.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. Back in the AJ Lee era, back in the Diva era, maybe slightly before, slightly after, that works. Not here. You got big people who can go. My point is, to some point, and you don't really even, if I'm being honest, you don't have to go that deep into the roster. You're going to find someone who matches your build, or is just as heavy, or is just as tall, or is just as strong. She's strong, but I can argue there's a few women in the roster who are shorter than her, but way stronger than her. Way stronger. Can pick her up and throw her out the ring over their heads. So you don't have to go. The problem with her gimmick is that she needs the ring to back it up, or it's an unsellable package. That's my only gripe with it. And although, hats off to Jade, from the AEW days, boy, has she come a long.
I'll give you that. Yes, from the AEW days, she's gotten way better. Yeah,
miles better.
But she's not on this level.
Unfortunately, you are not at this level. And to be honest with you, they rushed her too fast, too hard, because they were relying too much on the package that she comes with, and they should have kept her mid-card working for some time, and that would have been, and she would have been better for it. Let's see if they shove her down our throats with her getting another title shot. There is no reason for her at this point, because now we're past giving her a chance. We're here now. There is no point in this moment in time for the next year or two that she should even be sniffing this belt. She should not be in this picture. She should be working something else, but I feel like that's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. We'll see where the road that Jade Cargill goes to after losing the championship will take her. And now it is time for our main event of the evening, as the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as CM Punk takes on Roman Reigns. And can we start at the entrances for just a second? God damn it. For just a goddamn second. Because let me tell you something. Level of excitement. Okay, I was a 7. Now, remember what I said. I said when they booked this match, I was a 10. They're trying to talk me the fuck out of this match. I was not feeling the promos. I was not feeling the build. None of this shit made any fucking sense to me at all whatsoever. That's why I said, please stop talking. Just get into the goddamn ring, because the talking is driving me fucking nuts. Well, there wasn't any talking on Sunday night. It was time to get in the ring. And when they got in the ring, oh, baby, they got in the ring. And can we start at the entrances? Because I screamed.
I'm sure you did.
I screamed. First and foremost, I screamed twice, technically. Roman's entrance came first. And I love the piano with the lady. That was all cool. But to go back to the tribal chief theme, the original one. I was like, oh shit! I should have known right then.
You already know what type of time they on, and they proved it to you on Monday. So
yeah. So I loved Roman's entrance at WrestleMania. Always gives me fucking goosebumps, and this one was no different. Going with the original theme, fucking nuts. That should have been my clue. He was going over. They went back to the tribal chief theme, but then we get to the second entrance, CM Punk. I don't care anymore. Okay, when I see confused faces when that shit plays, because it broke my heart. In WWE, I could see them not knowing what that song is. All right, he hasn't used that song in 20 years. I get it. This audience, most of the people that are in this building weren't fucking alive when he used that song. I understand. Okay, I get it. AEW, when he played that song, it broke my heart because those are supposed to be the smart ones. And they didn't have a fucking clue. So when I started hearing it, I said, oh, that building's going to be quiet as fuck. I was happy to hear some noise when I saw the fan cam footage when people use their cell phones. I saw more reaction than I heard. But that whole ding, 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 bang, ding, 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 bang, like, mark out. And then when he was sitting on Allegiant Stadium with the belt and the fucking old school jacket and the fucking shorts, and I was like, yes. And then I saw him walking to the ring. He's got the belt and the jacket, and I'm like, is he coming to the ring with it? No, he didn't. But I got excited. And then he came through and they gave him this little quiet entrance. And
I like that. I like the pause. I like the. I don't know. I love the pause. I do.
He did it on Monday too.
He did, and I loved it there too.
Yeah. So the entrance is right off rip. Obviously, we were trying to figure out what the names on the jacket meant. I'm glad they explained it. Yeah, they explained it. I'm glad that worked out that way. And so, like, I was so done with the build, but watching the two of them stand there during the introductions, full building, the real WrestleMania main event, night 2. All right. I still consider night 1 a main event, but the real one we all know is night 2. It's a singles match. It's for the world title.
Hey, same thing you said about Stephanie and AJ Styles. They're both headliners.
Yeah.
The last person.
The last one is the one that matters. Is the headliner. So. And to see Punk and Roman in this position, I just got to assume, because I know there used to be a lot of bad blood, but I got to assume at this point that there's a lot of water under the bridge between Punk and a lot of people there. This has to be an amazing moment for both of them. And I'm starting to believe more and more and more that Roman's chip on his shoulder is a really real thing. Like, I feel like that guy truly is unbothered by anything. I swear to God. I think he's cool under pressure, but I see too much, like when he pays respects to the family, like that entrance what he had with the family members on the whole deal. I know he can be emotional about this. I know that
that's his family, though. That's completely different.
But in his family, wrestling and his family are one. It's synonymous with one another. I have spent enough time with the actual Anoa'i family to get that vibe where they consider the wrestling business their business, the family business. I was specifically told, as part of the little meeting we had for our match, to not to disrespect their business. You know what I mean? Like, they're very, very serious about that shit. And I'm not going to sit here and say that he marks out or he, like you said, he's very unfazed by a lot of shit. There's not a lot of shit that gets his motor running like that. But I think in situations like this, for instance, I don't think he takes it lightly that this is his 11th WrestleMania main event. I think there's a sense of pride in that.
Well, he knows he's him.
I think also knowing in the back of his head that I really want to make this match as great as possible, but being the genius that he is about this industry, he knows that this is the beginning of something he's about to do. Like, it's a culmination with the thing with Punk, but he knows, because he's a businessman and a professional, and he's been in this position before, that this isn't the last night of something big. It's the first night of something bigger. So
Right.
he needs to ball out, not just for the sake of, okay, this is a main event with Punk, but I know that I have to reestablish the tribal chief in a championship form so that we can move forward and dole out these rubs we about to hand out for the rest
Yeah.
of this goddamn Sunday.
There's a check here we're about to cash, and we're just
Right.
raising the funds for it. That's
We're
all.
just raising, this is a GoFundMe right now. We're trying to build right here. So I know that he feels something. I just can't pinpoint it because he's so fucking good at hiding that. So my level of excitement was a 7. Before I even get into the other numbers, I'm going to 9. I'm boosting it up. I was already kind of excited when it first started. It brought me down. The match brought me back up. I wish I could see more. I don't think there'll be any more of this. I wish they would continue more, but it is what it is. I'll take the one.
Well, no, because on Monday they already changed CM Punk into Cody's targets, crosshairs.
Yeah,
So
they
they've
teased
already
a lot of
moved-
shit there.
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
they're moving away from that.
And they
I think
also started splintering Romanoff now because Jacob Fatu is making a run at the championship. So they're split. They're all doing different things.
Yep.
And
They've ended
big
that story right now. So
big shout out to the
Just
big
good.
man Jacob Fatu making a run right now. Let's see.
I need that.
Let's see what
I
you
need
can
that for
Yeah.
my family, for
do.
my legacy.
legacy.
Love that shit.
Dave, you
Yo,
were at a
talk to your
9.
boy.
Dave, you were at a 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this with a 10.
10.
This shit went, man. This shit
Yep.
went.
This
it's-
shit went.
it's-
This shit was good.
It's very easy to get bored of certain stars who always rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
But there are very few times where those people at the top, when you see them in the ring, whether you like it or hate it, there's a reason why they're there. You can hate Cena all you want. There's a reason why he has as many main events as he has. There's a reason why Taker is there. There's a reason why The Rock. There's a reason why Stone Cold. There's a reason why Roman Reigns. There's a reason why CM Punk. The building is different when their match is on. They move different. Their timing is different. Their hits are different. It's just a different aura. It's a different atmosphere. And these two brought that. And that's exactly what they showed here. Great match between the two. Great storyline. We went, like you said, we went right into it on Monday, both with Punk and with Roman. We already kind of have an idea where we're going with this. We're reestablishing the bloodline. And we're getting right into figuring out what we're going to do with that. We don't even know. Fatu wants to fight. He told him, look, I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying reconsider what you're thinking about in a roundabout way. We could probably do this. I see what you want. We could probably do this a different way. Gay got out the ring already, right into Jay and Jimmy. Talk to your boy.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Talk to him.
Talk
Before
to him,
I
yeah.
have to beat his ass. Basically,
Yeah,
is
right.
what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So, like, we're already getting into it. To
Yeah,
the
before
shits,
I put
right?
pause on this, man, you go ahead and figure
And
that out.
that's another thing. Like all these matches that we talked about, maybe one or two, like on the Gunther Seth. I think we may have spoken of the Liv Morgan match, but a lot of them, although obviously they're doing something after Mania, it's not so clear and already feeling like big energy like these two already, right? So like that level of energy and intensity, you got it in this match. We told a story. We ended the story. We're moving forward. It's just, you can't deny these guys, man. They're up there for a reason. This match was good.
This match was phenomenal. Of all the things that people criticized from this entire weekend, and there were a lot of complaints, the one thing that everybody seemed to agree with was this was a main event match. That this was a WrestleMania main event worthy matchup. And I take a lot of personal joy in the fact that it was Punk in that main event, because obviously everyone knows I'm a huge Punk guy. But I want to address something that I said on the live convo, because I don't want to duck any smoke. and I'm going to stand on it. I mentioned something about having Punk fatigue at the live convo. I had made mention that one of the reasons why I was kind of falling off this build is because for other people, those are the kind of promos that they cut when it's outstanding, when it's like a unique evening. For him, it was a fucking Tuesday. That wasn't a standout Punk promo from someone who's been listening to Punk promos for about 24 years, right? They did something on Monday that intrigued me a little bit, that might get me off the fatigue bandwagon, and that was the tease with Cody. Because I don't know if anybody else is feeling my vibe, but I feel like the last 2 years since his return, he's done a lot of great work as a babyface. And I feel like going into that match with Roman, he kind of already started showing some signs. We talked about on the show, like when he made the comment about burying him next to his dad, the issues he was having with the Usos, he was kind of blurring that line a little bit. And I think the one thing that can kind of get me off of the fatigue for the moment would kind of be a heel turn. Maybe not full-fledged. Maybe not we go full evil all the way, outright all the way. But one of the things that we talk about when we talk about Cody Rhodes and his run is that he needs certain people to pull certain things out of him. Him and Drew are too similar. But when Cody goes against a Roman Reigns, or when Cody went against a Lesnar, or when Cody goes against like an AJ Styles, the kind of people that do more than just the in-ring formula, but can get them going in promos, can get them going through the build, it gets Cody revved up, and he wants to do more, and he's more energetic. Kevin Owens is another guy who just fucking pulls it out of Cody. There's these guys who do it special. Punk's on that list. I feel like Punk can get something out of Cody that we haven't seen in a while, but I don't think he can do it as the babyface, as the, hey, we're friends, we're buddies, heal up, big guy, I want a title match. If Punk is going to end his career soon, the fact that he was able to convert a babyface run into a world title run all the way to WrestleMania, to me, that says successful babyface run. I need one more fucking heel run before he hangs those fucking boots up, and I can't think of a better reason to do it than against the top guy himself, QB1, the golden boy, Cody Rhodes.
That's crazy that's what we're saying about Cody Rhodes.
What? That's what we're at.
You're right. You are correct. I'm just saying it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a weird. This is Trump's America. This is Trump's America. So anyway, congratulations on the guys for busting out just a really true blue WrestleMania main event. Congratulations to everybody that was a part of the big weekend for WrestleMania. This is the annual aftermath show when it comes to WrestleMania. And as per tradition, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. As per tradition, next week, we will be wrestling free. It will be sanitized. What I usually do after Mania, because we bunch up so much wrestling shit for Mania, I kind of cut everything else out and just make it about WrestleMania. Our shorts, our clips, our segments have dominated the WrestleMania thing, and we've done great numbers, and I'm super happy about that. But I also like to kind of cleanse a little bit. So next week's episode, 353, a little less, actually no wrestling at all.
We're going to talk about some bullshit.
We're going to talk about some bullshit. We're going to get on some shit. We're going to have some fun. We're going to bring back an old segment I have in mind for something. You need to prepare something for the Street Fighter thing, because if there was ever a time to get that shit done, it's next week. I want to have that conversation. So we're going to have fun next week. We're going to do some cool shit. I'm excited. Congratulations to everybody who went into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to everybody who performed on the weekend. Congratulations to all the independent promotions who ran through Las Vegas and hired and got paid bookings for all these phenomenal performers throughout the entire area. Big weekend, as it is every year for WrestleMania. Most important time of my life every year. So thank you guys for that. So we're going to sanitize it. We're going to take a break next week. We're not going to do any wrestling next week. When we come back, however, I don't want this to slip through the cracks. I want to do a segment on Lesnar's career. Just on the fact that he's retired now, and a lot of nicknames, and I think he's had a very unique career, and I think he's had the kind of career that a lot of people don't know a lot of things that he actually accomplished.
It's funny. I always say, like I always get a shell shock when we watch some like old documentary shit about wrestling and Lesnar's there. I'm like, yo, how long was this dude in the business? I swear he was a newer act, but then you're seeing shit like real early day stuff a couple decades ago, and he's on the plane with them. Oh, Brock was there. Wait, what the fuck? What? It would be nice to go look at those numbers for sure, because I am always blown away with how far back his career goes.
Yeah, I mean, he's achieved a level of success that is actually very unique, and I think it's worth taking a look at, if not for just a segment, just to pay homage to a great career and just kind of go through the whole thing and just see what happens. But not next week. We are wrestling free next week. We're gonna give the fans something a little bit different next week. So we're out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And of course, thank you guys for enjoying episode 352, WrestleMania 42 in the books. We'll see you guys next week. Let's have a little fun.
Like drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.